Some food is better than no food. Woohoo!
What are you eating, Tom? What are you eating, Tom?
All right. So we aren't live yet. I have to make us go public.
Okay, hold on. Where's my? Gotta find my.
We are public. I'm going to play this music a little bit again while we're waiting for Tom to come back.
Yeah, I had the wrong.
Did I use those too?
Wrong earbuds.
Okay, we are live.
We're live. I'm not ready.
Right. Okay, so here we are. Welcome Friday night. Here we are Friday night, hanging with Tom, Politzer, and John Worley. Oh man! Oh, Tom put his golf hat back on.
No, that's not a golf hat. That's a Giants hat.
The Giants?
Yes, I have definitely have hat hair today, and that's the way it goes. Okay, wait a second. I need to start my watch party.
Oh, Tom's got to start his watch party so people can chime in. So here,
how do you do that? How do you do that?
Go to my page. And then turn the volume down, and you'll see the stream, and then start a watch party.
Okay. So I'm not tech savvy as you can.
I still can't hear John.
You still can't hear him?
No.
Really? Let me try this.
I hear you. You hear me.
But you can't hear John.
No.
I can hear him just fine.
It sucks.
He can hear you.
I don't know what to say.
Let's see if people are hearing it. The worst thing is if it's not working, we might have to start over and relog in.
Can you hear me now, Tom?
Yeah, because
can you hear me now?
Are you able to hear John?
Can you hear me?
Talk.
He's talking.
Yo.
No, he's not. Okay, so try this, John. Try logging out and logging back in, and Tom, you try logging out and logging back in.
Okay.
All right, folks. So we're trying to get this figured out. Oh, well, Kathy could hear all of us. Ivan, okay. There's Tom.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I hear all of you. But I need to hear John.
Yeah.
How come I can't get how come I can't get the watch party going?
I don't know. Okay, so there's Tom.
Auto, what's that? Okay, wait a second. Share.
So Tom,
where's the share button?
Your finger is in front of your camera.
I know.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
Now we're waiting.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my on my Mac. I'm trying to get but my internet's like being stupid.
Yeah, my internet's being stupid too. So hopefully John can get back in.
Here we go. Here we go. Share. Yay. Start a watch party. So bingo.
I just want you to know, everybody that's watching and everybody that's tuned in.
And I'm going to eat, folks, too, because I'm like just got home in the nick of time from the golf course from playing in Santa Cruz.
John may not be able to log back in or something for some reason right now.
Really?
All right, so this is one thing that I want everybody to know, that my internet this week has been really, really weird. And Switcher Studio hasn't been necessarily working all that well with it. So what I'm doing right now, I'm using my cell phone as a hotspot and able to stream this because my Wi-Fi connection isn't working.
I know.
So I'm concerned that John isn't able to get back in.
I'm gonna go. You're gonna make me go to Wi-Fi here.
You're gonna
take off,
but
I'm gonna go to. I'm okay.
Yeah, no, you're great. We just need to get John in here.
Okay.
To get John back.
We'll get it. We always do.
Yeah. So
we always do.
So you went golfing today.
Yes.
And I interviewed a lady that was John's trying to get back in and he can't get back in now.
Oh, so you should have just had me lock up.
Wait, there he is. Woohoo. Okay.
Hopefully I can hear him.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Woo! All right.
Cool.
We're all here and everybody can hear each other.
Okay, I'm putting this back up here. And I'm gonna be like eating a little bit while we're doing this because I have to.
All right. Well, John, what I was going to tell
Yes, I was gonna do this.
is one of the things that we do after we start these watch parties and people are tuning in. If they have questions, we kind of watch what they're saying and we ask questions. We also take phone calls.
Yeah.
And, okay, so let's see. Okay, there's mine. I'm seeing. Okay, so Tom Markin, John Lane or Lane Bender, Ivan, Kathy Ann. Okay, so we've got there's like 31 people, and
Dang.
on my live stream.
How do I get on the live stream?
You have to have a different device. You have two devices.
Okay, yes. Go to my Facebook page.
Yeah.
And then scroll down until you see my live stream. You'll see us.
No, yeah, see, and then hit share. And share it.
Do I push that little arrow that's on top of Friday Night Hang with Tom Politzer?
Yeah.
If it's the one that says share, yeah.
So I click share?
Yes, that's what Tom says.
And then share to what?
Watch party.
Okay.
And then your friends or people that tune in there can ask questions and see and say things. Then you can respond. And then Tom can respond, and I can respond.
Right.
And press start watch party, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Man, I feel like I'm like from 2020. That feels good. Okay. And then I turn down the sound, right?
Turn the sound down.
Yes. Yeah.
Then Tom can
That's working.
Man, my voice sounds really good.
That's dope.
So drum roll. Okay, so
Oh, my cousin is there.
So I'm going to give him a formal introduction.
Okay, do it. You go.
So everybody, thanks for tuning in tonight to the Tom and Jeff show with our special guest tonight, one of both of ours oldest friends, a fantastic human being, very smart, guy full of wisdom, and one of the greatest trumpet players on the planet, if not the greater Santa Clara Valley. He is also a Yamaha. He is a Yamaha, like myself. He is a Yamaha performing artist. He has how many CDs you have out now, John?
I have 2, but I'm on about 75 to 80 CDs.
So John has worked as a trumpet player, an educator his whole life. That's all he's done. He is a musician's musician and a great guy. And so here he is. This is John Worley.
John Worley. Here.
Thank you. That's what we needed. All right. So let's get started, John. Why don't you give the folks a little bit of your bio, like where you started and how you got playing, how you got into trumpet, and just
okay.
As long as you want to go, so they know who you are.
All right. So I was in 4th grade and I played the drums in Roanoke Park at John Reed Elementary School. And then I saw a story about Louis Armstrong, a Reader's Digest short stories book. And there was a picture of him in the back with this beautiful gold trumpet. And the article talked about how he could play all around the world, and people would understand who he is, and they could understand what he was trying to communicate through the music, So I thought, wow, man, that sounds so cool. Cause I was a pretty shy kid, unlike, like how I am now,
That's true.
But so the next year, we moved back to Daly City, and I asked my mom to get me a trumpet so I could play the trumpet, And I've been playing ever since. The guy who got me started was a guy named Dick Snyder, and he was a woodwind player, but he also taught, using his valve trombone to the brass students, But yeah, so I've been playing since 1965, October 2nd.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I love it, man. I love playing the trumpet. I love playing music. I've loved playing music with you guys, And so, I backed up a lot of different artists and played with a lot of people at different festivals and things. And I have my own groups, and I've done different types of shows with them. You know, like I had a band, Berry Berry. It had 3 baritone saxes and trumpet. You know, which was really we played a lot
That's
of hard.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had Aaron Linkton, Jeff Roach, and Phil Lorenz. They were the Berry players. You know, and then I did something called Miles of Blue, a tribute to Miles Davis, and we played
I have a question. The band was called Berry Berry.
Yeah,
Why wasn't it called Berry Berry Berry?
because beriberi is a disease, that you catch. I was hoping people would catch beriberi a little bit more than they did.
Oh, okay.
I got to say, man, playing with 3 baritone saxophones, it was unbelievable. It was like it was the loudest freaking band I'd ever played in.
Really?
That felt like on stage. Yeah, I mean, 3 baritone saxophones. Oh my God! And we had 4 a couple of times. Like I had Chris Strom play with us and Oscar Pangolinan. It was really, we did some stuff at our boutique in San Jose, and we did we did some different clubs like at what's that place over in Redwood City, that blues club?
Fox. The
No,
Fox.
no, the other place. So that they had a theater.
Oh yeah.
Theater.
Well, there's the Fox Theater, and then there's the Little Fox Theater.
It was a Little
Fox. Little Fox Theater,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to actually get to my page here. Keep going. Keep talking, man.
Yeah, and I did, and I had I had different incarnations of my band Mochi, the Mochi Ensemble.
Right,
And
right.
I do trio. We would do a quartet, quintet, and the latest incarnation of that was with a singer named Amy DeBalos. Have you guys heard of Amy DeBalos?
I've seen you post stuff about her.
She is a great singer, man.
Yeah, I've seen you post stuff.
And she's on one cut on my Naivasha CD. And I first met her in jazz camp, the San Jose jazz camps. And she was a student, and I first met her back when she was a kid, and now she's, she's got her own CD out. She's done some EPs and different things, and and she sings in Mochi, and she's a wonderful addition to it,
John,
So
can I find that one of your CDs on iTunes or something? Is there a place I can?
No, I'm really lame about that, and if anybody wants a CD, they have to go to my website and send me a message, or they can email me at john@johnworley.com.
JohnWorley.com.
No, john@johnworley.com. And then the website is johnworley.com.
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make that, put that
Not
up.
not John Worley Jr.
Nah.
Okay.
Oh man, look, Eric Miyashiro is listening in.
So
I first met him in Hawaii, man.
So Eric, man, and he subbed in Tower Power.
Did he?
And he subbed in Tower Power. Oh, and what a great guy.
I got one of his trumpets, and I bought one of his trumpets about a year ago.
The Eric Miyashiro Yamaha.
That's right.
So I don't know if Eric, if he's listening right now, he does know this, but the trumpet that Mick Gillette played before he left the band, and he got Yamaha. He was playing the Eric Miyashiro Yamaha lead trumpet. That's what Mick Gillette was playing.
Wow, that's cool.
And he sounded killing on it.
Boy, I miss that guy, man. He was a nice cat.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
The last time I played with Mick, we backed up a singer, Joe. God, I can't remember his last name. Joe. He was a trumpet player from Atlanta, Georgia, and he used to play golf with Clint Eastwood. And he had a certain type of cancer, and what's his name? Clint Eastwood hosted a party and a party like a fundraiser or something for him. And then he didn't know that was what it was for. But then when he came and when he led the band, it kind of, I guess it kind of slipped and stuff, but it was really cool. The guy was a great trumpet player, and Mick Gillette was playing trumpet, myself, and I think maybe Louis Fasman was playing trumpet too, maybe, and Brian Stock, maybe. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. Yeah. Anyway.
So those I'm sure some of them have tuned in who've tuned in weeks prior have heard Jeff tell the story about his first gig with the circus, and how he crashed and burned, and how this man right here, John Worley, had the foresight and good thinking, which I kind of learned from you doing that, being the kindness of your big heart, to just pull Jeff over and say, look, I'm going to teach this guy to play this goddamn show. It's like where we were all sitting there going, like, should we far, let him go. And, Jeff came up and stepped up to the plate with your tutelage. And that was a pretty damn cool thing, man, that you did. That was really cool.
Somebody paid me to do it. No,
Steve Curl? Steve Curl?
no.
Here, dude, here's $50. Help this kid out because we got nobody else.
No, but Jeff, you ended up doing a stellar job, man.
Yeah,
you had that show down. You played great job. You played the shit out of that show. You were tight. You did everything. You were loose. You went from being the most scared guy and deer in the headlights.
I was scared shitless. I can't tell you how scared I was.
But after 3 months, you were like completely confident, and you went like, I have this. You went from scared shitless to I got this, playing all these styles of music that you hadn't played before in a situation you never played before, with a bunch of people you never knew. And here we are now. Isn't that cool?
That is true. And even though over the years we haven't stayed in touch as much because our lives have went in other directions. I got married, kids, all that kind of stuff. Still to this day, you two have been from that day my best friends. I mean, I always remember those days as you two guys. And then we have to throw Eric in there too. You know, I mean,
Eric Jorgensen.
Yeah.
That guy. I love that guy.
Right. So the four of us. Remember, we got our pictures with the Jazz at the Bosom Tree shirts on, and then, but you two guys single-handedly saved my ass.
I think I didn't help you out specifically like John did, I think, but I was emotionally supportive.
You were emotionally supportive, and then you loaned your parents to me. So
Oh, that's right. Yes.
So if
right.
it were not for you, if it were not for John to work with me to keep me on the circus, and not for you to give me a place to go to when I was off the circus, I would not be here right now talking to you. I would not.
That's probably true.
Ended up back in Nebraska.
Do you ever think about what you would be doing now if that never happened?
Oh no, I can't even imagine. Yeah. I mean, my life, it's, we talk about our lives having a point that we take a different trajectory.
Right? So, moments in our lives.
Right. So I'm going here, and the trajectory my life was on, had I not gotten that circus gig, I would have ended on going back to Nebraska, going back to Lincoln, Nebraska, working at Land and Sky Waterbed Store, and never playing again. No.
I was going to be an astronomer.
Really?
What?
I was going to be an astronomer, or I wanted to be an astronaut. One of the two. I've always been a space case, even when I was a kid. But no, seriously, that was my thing, man. Astronomy. I science fiction, and I wanted to be the first trumpet player on the moon. And that's why on my Worldview CD, if you look on the cover, there's a picture of the moon and my face in it.
Yes, I know. I mean, I know that.
That's the reason why I did that. Yeah.
Let me ask: are you still into astronomy, and are you all into this SpaceX thing and all that stuff that's going on?
No, man, because I'm totally absorbed by trumpet, by the trumpet. Actually, more by the flugelhorn. And my life with my wife. With my wife Susan, and playing with all my friends like Wally Schnally and Scott Sorkin, Chris Strom, and just various folks. Amy DeBalos, all these wonderful musicians that are down in the South Bay.
So, and John, for those of you who live in the Bay Area, John has been instrumental and Chris Strom, and I'm sure other people, but those two people that I know personally. Instrumental in fostering jazz music in Santa Clara and in the Silicon Valley, and clubs like the De Anza Hotel.
Yeah, the Headley Cafe,
the Headley Club. Having Cafe Stritch. Well, Cafe Stritch is fantastic. I played there several times, and to go to see these clubs with some really good live music and good turnout and people coming and listening, and John has been a big supporter of that. Part of you're on the board of the San Jose Jazz Society. Is that correct?
No, I'm not on the board.
On board. Oh, okay.
I'm
I
a,
never.
I've been a member of the jazz camp, the summer jazz camps they've done, I think, since the early 2000s.
And also the San Jose Jazz Collective, which is a great band
Yeah.
of players from South Bay.
Yeah, that's with Wally Schnally. He's the leader. Oscar Pangolin on tenor saxophone. What's his name? Saul Sierra on bass. Brian Ho on piano. I'm sorry, organ, and Saul Sierra on bass. It's a really great band. We did two tours, to Asia the last 2 years.
Right.
Oh, we had such a great time. It's so much fun to play.
Now, have you guys recorded a CD yet?
We did a couple of EPs.
Okay. Can we find those anywhere too? Are those on Spotify or YouTube?
To be honest with you, I really don't know. You'd have to get a hold of Wally Schnally. He's a band. He knows about that. In fact, he's listening here. Maybe he might even chime. Hey, Wally, if you hear this, chime in and let us know where people can get the EPs. Okay.
I'll put the number up if he wants to call in. So also, somebody asked if we actually did the circus together. They said, "Oh, did you guys circus together?" Yes. So let me just kind of get this out of the way. John and Tom were part of a new group that was hired on to the circus to do something different than what they had been doing. And I think you guys were there for a couple of months before I joined. Is that correct?
Yes.
A couple of months. And I was called and showed up in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And the first guy that I met was John Worley. And the first thing was, shut the damn door, you're letting all the flies in.
Well, man, the thing is, it's like, man, that place had so many flies, right? And it was just unbelievable. You look down and they're on your sandwich,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Where did they set up the tent? Were we next to some kind of river or estuary of some kind? I mean, Colorado Springs is very arid, and it's 6,000 feet, 5,000 or 6,000 feet elevation.
I don't know, but there were a bunch of flies.
Yeah, there were a bunch of flies. It's young man's work. That's all I can say.
I did not play the show the first night, but the next lot was Albuquerque's when I started, and it was the first week in August, and John and Tom were there, and we finished out the year. John saved my ass. So then we spent the rest of that year on tour, doing circus. You guys stopped in Nebraska with me and met my parents. We ended up in Chicago for like 4 weeks. And at the time, I just want to say this about that, and then I'll let you finish your story about the San Jose Collective. But I needed some drumsticks and went to a drum shop in Chicago and met a drummer there named Michael White, who was at the time playing drums with Chris Mayfield, Lou Rawls.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the summer before he moved to LA, and I just interviewed him on Wednesday, and he's been like this huge studio session guy in LA and has worked with almost everybody you could ever imagine. Played on tons of movies, but I met him in 1980 at a drum shop, and he was telling me, I'm playing with Lou Rawls, and I'm like, holy cow. Anyway.
So here's another thing. Chris Pantages, aka Sage Gentlewing, played in a band with Michael, I believe, in Honolulu for a minute, or in Chicago. But Sage knows Michael too.
He's an amazing drummer, man. That guy can play.
Wow. Yeah, I know that he's a badass.
Yeah.
Hey,
and his
if anybody wants to check out our Monk recordings, the San Jose Jazz Collective, Wally Schnally says you can find it on Apple Music or Spotify.
Oh, cool.
Okay, good to know.
Jazz Collective?
Yeah.
San Jose Jazz Collective.
Yep.
And unlike the San Francisco Jazz Collective, which is very good. I have no problem with
Oh
that.
yeah,
They're not, well, they're not all from San Francisco is my point.
right, right.
The San Jose Jazz Collective, they're all from the South Bay
We're all
area.
homies,
Your homies, yeah.
right?
And the San Francisco one is a great group, but they bring in people from all over the place too,
Sam-
and that's fine too.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not coming up on iTunes. So would it be SJC?
No, SJZ Collective.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, my big finger.
It'd be great to play it.
Yeah,
though.
I'm going to get to that. So now go ahead and keep
So-
talking about that stuff while I bring up.
By the way, I just a quick interjection when John was talking about how much he loves trumpet, and I know players like this. John's profession is not only playing trumpet; his hobby is playing trumpet and flugelhorn too. It's as much his hobby as it is his profession. Something I'm working towards, because I'm sure all of you know my hobby is golf, and it's a big part of my life, and it keeps me sane. But I've always played so much, especially 18 years on the road with Tower. I get to play so much, and I practice, on the road that, it's this whole pandemic thing has really made me have to force me to do these changes that if I was just a Bay Area musician, I would probably been doing already. Just my practice ethic.
So, John, I've got 4 songs up: Green Chimneys, Round Midnight, Ask Me Now, Blue Monk. Which one should I just throw up and play for a minute?
Let's see. Geez, I don't know. Ask Me Now, maybe.
Yeah.
I think Oscar Pangilinan arranged that.
Okay.
See what it is. Okay, before you put it on,
Okay.
What Wally asked us all to do was to pick a tune, to arrange for the group, right? And for the monk thing, I'm not a great arranger. I write tunes, but I'm not a great arranger. So with what my thing is, I like to like do things differently, because we don't have a lot of the same writing skills as the other cats in the band. So my whole the way I do it is through concept, and but like guys like Wally and Saul and Oscar and Brian, I mean, they write some great stuff, so, but one of them, I think, Ask Me Now, I think Oscar arranged that, and that would be a nice one to check out.
Okay, so let's listen to that.
Yeah. Okay.
This is sexy. John, you need Susan sitting next to you in a glass of wine.
Hey, baby.
It's beautiful.
Hey, see, hey, Susan.
Susan.
Hello. Glass of wine.
Hey, I was there when you guys got married.
Oh, that's beautiful music. So I gotta say that was a sexy song, and it just seemed right to have Susan sitting next to John and a glass of wine.
That's right.
I just want to say, I was just say, I'm very grateful. I was at their wedding.
It was a fun one.
It was a great wedding. The reception was fantastic.
My relatives
Man,
said they felt
this is
like they should have paid to be there.
yeah. Susan, get in the whole picture so we can see your whole beautiful face. We're seeing half of your face.
Well, maybe that's a blessing. I don't know.
Never.
Never.
Don't. You know.
Well, let me just say this: not really knowing Susan real well, because we've never really officially met, but I will say that I interviewed John on this show, and the one thing that he made clear to me was one of the most important things in his life right now is his relationship with Susan, and that's been sort of the beauty of his life right now. And so this is Susan, everybody.
And that's her artwork. That's some of what she does.
Come have a piece. Oh my gosh.
Put it up.
I remember making that.
I use it every day.
Cool.
It's for when I'm cooking, for my dirty utensils, and when I'm using them, I clean this every day. And you made it, and I remember, and I love it.
It's
I
not
love this.
for like rolling your weed in it or something like that.
No, but
Kidding.
I tried chopping up my lines of crystal meth, but these little things here, these little, because I think what did you do? Did you imprint a real leaf in there, or did you just draw that?
I definitely imprinted a real leaf, and the little stamp that's a circle, I carved that.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Is that your mark?
No, it's not.
Anyway.
I don't know where my mark is. It's usually on the back, but
it's usually on John's back. It's usually on John's back. Your mark. You just like.
So now that we have Susan on too, because Susan is also a very excellent artist. And what are you doing with your art these days?
man, it's really hard because with clay, I teach in two places. I teach ceramics. One place has a beautiful stoneware gas-fired kiln. It's like the size of a room. Well, that place is closed due to pandemic. And then another place I teach adults has a electric kiln, and I can get very colorful things with that place, but they're closed too. So I don't have access to a kiln, so I have been drawing birds and plants and flowers, and probably going to make some greeting cards.
Okay. Well, let me know.
No, I think I might even do some more silhouettes too. So, none of that close contact stuff anymore.
Susan, I have questions. So your primary medium is clay and sculpture and working with that. And
that's what I do for love. But for money, I entertain at events with my face painting, my henna tattoos, my glitter tattoos, and I also teach pottery and art.
Okay. A question about kilns. Can you get the same heat out of an electric kiln that you can out of a gas kiln?
Nope. Not
even close, huh?
Well, you could, but it would really shorten the life of the electric kiln greatly. And I like the effects of a reduction gas kiln. So basically, when it's really hot, you do a specific thing with the flue and close it so that all the oxygen comes out of the kiln and it becomes a reduction atmosphere, if you remember your high school chemistry.
Kind of.
Changes the color of the glazes. In some cases, like a glaze with copper, can go from green to oxblood red if it's in reduction.
Wow.
So
Oh.
those effects are only achievable with a gas kiln. So.
So this is important. So if anybody is an art student, you not only have to know about clay, and there's different kind. Is there also different kinds of clay for each different kiln?
Yeah, definitely. And you don't want to mix them up.
Right. And then
Sounds dangerous.
not only do you need to know about the clays, but you also need to know some specific things about what different heat does to different glazes.
Yeah, I think ceramics is far more technical than drawing or painting or henna or face painting. I mean, it's a lifelong passion and search.
Wow.
You're never satisfied.
That sounds amazing. Have you tried to make a clay or ceramic trumpet?
I haven't tried to make a ceramic trumpet.
Would that be hard to do?
I think so, because how are you going to do the valves and such?
Well, maybe you could do something that sort of resembles a trumpet or something.
Hey, maybe I could make a great big Swiss Alpenhorn. I would just need a huge kiln.
Wow.
You know what those Alpenhorns look like? They're huge.
Yeah. So
I took one of those classes, and I want to show you some of the work that I did that under her tutelage. Okay.
This is my favorite
You made that?
lawnmower.
I like that.
oh, that's
Worley
cool.
made that one.
Have
Yeah.
you guys ever hear of the Leningrad Cowboys?
No, I don't know. Who the-
It's a great band from, I think it's Finland,
Finland.
and they all have their hair like this.
And they wear sunglasses.
Yep. And this is my tribute to them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is Herb Patno, one of my
Oh,
favorite trumpet teachers.
that is her Patno.
That's right. You see the upper lip, the little creases
Yeah.
in the upper lip.
John's pretty good, Susan, huh?
He was my prize student. I didn't even expect he'd even come to class, but he loved it.
And this is Sean Penn. This is my tribute to Sean Penn.
Hey, can I ask you guys a personal question?
Sure.
Have you ever reenacted that scene from Ghost?
Oh, that
Oh.
scene from
So
Ghost.
we did the other night.
You know, after that movie appeared,
Yeah.
all the ceramic departments of every single college and every single community center was packed to the gills.
Oh, my love, my darling.
Oh my, that's so funny.
That's an all-time great
Oh.
scene.
Right. That really was.
Yeah.
You know, I can imagine taking a pottery class just so I could meet a woman and do that.
Honest to God, the pottery classes were packed after
Oh.
that movie.
So, what are the percentage of male? What's the male female ratio in your classes?
Oh, it's much higher male than female.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Hear that, ladies? Hear that, ladies?
In my classes, it's female
Yeah, mostly
because
female.
they're mostly older
No,
gals.
you said male to female.
But in Sunnyvale, where they were on the wheel, that's males.
Oh.
oh.
But
Interesting.
they're young boys, right?
Well, they're like, tech guys, 20, 30 years old. They want to get their hands dirty because all day they're in a little cubicle with a bunch of screens. They want to get something real in their
Mm.
hands.
Mm.
Hey, maybe a piece of music to go along with a piece of art, like a CD.
So,
I-
Susan shows a different piece of her art, and John picks another tune to play.
Ooh, should I get the Boy King out or the Mermaid?
I
Or
don't know. And you want me to
you
play?
pick the music.
Well, or we can play another recording from the San Jose Jazz Collective. Or would you like to play live, John?
I don't mind.
Give your
Hey,
trumpet. ready.
I think that sounds great. They give us a little 2-minute spontaneous improv based on the art of Susan
he's
Worley.
Ready? I'll get one of my pieces that made it into a book, the Egyptian Boy King mask. I'll get
Okay.
that.
Okay.
What a treat, ladies and gentlemen. A little live performance.
Somebody's texted me and says, shout out to John and Tom. Ask them about Hoser on the Shore. I'm not sure who this is.
Well,
that's funny.
I'm thinking it's Eric.
well, maybe. What's the area code?
310.
That's LA.
Yeah.
That's probably Eric.
So okay, I won't comment on that. Okay, I'm going to comment on that for folks. So back in 1980 on was, we had Walkmans and cassette tapes. We had that Akai Walkman, which was really good at the time. That was kind of the state of the art. You could hook this little mic into it and you hit record and stuff came out pretty good. I mean, it's better on our iPhones now, but it was pretty good. And so we all had one and we'd bring them up on stage and we have these cassette tapes and we record, but we started doing silly stuff and picking up the record thing and saying stuff stuff was going on. You had a bunch of rests. You had 16 bars of rest. You pick up recorder. So the tune "Stranger on a Shore," which was made famous by the movie Mr. Holland's Opus, is a really it's a very corny song. And
Actor Bill did the first. He made that into a hit back earlier before the movie.
Okay.
Actor Bilk.
But I never played it until John and I worked on the cruise ship in Hawaii together. It was a 5-piece band. And
this is Wendell Upon.
Oh, it's Wendell.
He was on that recording.
Yeah, he's on that recording. So anyway, yes, I overdubbed. I played the melody on clarinet, and then John went on to pick it up for me, and I picked up the recorder, and I did what's considered by some people kind of a kind of one of my best improvs. But I'm trying to follow my mentor John Worley, who it's hard to beat when it comes to a vocal improv. It's hard to beat John. It's true. It's hard to beat. It's true. But he's taught me pretty much everything I know about that. I've learned from John Worley when it comes to just kind of like doing so. My thing was kind of like a voiceover. And I kind of based it on the lyrics of the song, but I kind of took some personal liberties with the lyrics.
If anybody wants the lyrics, just email me and I'll send them to you.
Yeah, we get. I would like to see them myself.
Okay, so all right, so John and Susan, are you about ready to do a little thing?
Whenever you're ready.
Put on my glasses for this.
We're ready.
Okay. Well, should I show the piece first then?
Yes.
Okay. This is the
Ooh.
math.
Nice.
Yeah, your tone, even through this, microphone, your tone is still just so beautiful. I can't imagine what it's like in real life.
It sounds a lot better on the computer.
I will say this too, and I'm not blowing smoke up my friend's ass, but John has one of my favorite trumpet flugelhorn tones of any trumpet player I've ever heard. I mean, his tone and the way he plays a melody is you got it, dude.
Well, thank you, Tom.
That was beautiful. So I think you guys got the thing. So you've got a piece of music and a piece of art.
Well, can I just add something to this?
Sure.
Sebastian Lanson. Do you know who Sebastian? You guys know Sebastian Lanson, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
He's a guitarist in France. He's one of my best friends.
He's a pretty good friend of me too.
Yeah, and for you too. And he and I went over there. Actually, I've been going over there quite a bit, during the last 10 years. And we went in and we recorded a bunch of stuff in the studio, and we're thinking about doing a project where we combine Susan's art, his wife's photography, and his wife Muriel is a wonderful author. She's like a New York Times bestselling author. Yeah.
Yep.
And so she's a great photographer. So we were thinking about writing a bunch of music and using the music as a backdrop for Susan's work and for Muriel's work.
Yeah, that'd
You
be great.
Yeah, so in
Family affair.
in the next couple of years, you may see something like that come up, either on video or maybe, or on something. I'm not sure yet.
And let's give a shout out to Sebastian Lanson, Lanson. I believe his CDs are on Spotify because he's put out a couple of his own solo CDs. And every time I play in Paris, for a while he was living in Amsterdam. He's back in Paris now.
No, actually, he's in the Loire Valley.
Where is that in France?
That's south of Paris, about
South of
an
Paris.
hour by bullet train.
Okay.
Yeah,
But,
near
what-
Tours.
Yes,
That's,
yes,
yeah.
I know Latour is.
Lots
We
of
just-
chateaus.
Yeah, our last gig in France was in Cognac. It was
Mhm.
a great festival in Cognac. We flew into Paris and then drove down to Cognac. But
Nice.
yeah, I love France.
If I had my way, we would be living in the Loire near him.
Oh,
You know,
God,
Yeah,
I
and-
love France.
And actually, just a little sidebar here. We're talking about France and Spain, and so my niece lives in Granada, Spain, and I've done a lot of gigs in Spain over the years, and yeah, it's kind of I don't know, Spain, France. Kind of the weather's a little better in Spain. They're both great. They're both
They're
great.
not
The music scene, the music scene that's in Barcelona now is very, very hip. Very hip, a really beautiful town of about 3 million people. Everybody's really nice. And Madrid too. I love Spain. I can't,
I have a friend of mine that lives in Madrid, and her name is Tamara Hostetter, and she's a wonderful pianist. She has she has I don't know. She plays in different various ensembles, and 2 years ago I wrote a piece of music called Above and Beyond, and it was for the East Side College Preparatory School in East Palo Alto. I was asked to write the opening fanfare for it, and
Wow.
it was for the East Side Preparatory School, but it was representing the AAC. Let's see, AACA, the African American Composers AACI initiative, and so I wrote this piece of music called Above and Beyond, and it was and I wrote it for Barack Obama.
wow.
And that concert is a fundraiser for that particular school's music program. They do wonderful things for the kids there.
That's so cool, man.
So, it's funny, it's like, music takes you in all different directions, right? I mean, you guys know this. I mean, it does. I mean, one minute you're backing up, like Wayne Shorter at Monterey Jazz Festival.
Which you did.
Yeah. Another time you're playing with a Persian violin virtuoso named Bijan at some symphony hall.
Yep.
And then and it's like,
Davies.
or at Davies or playing like Duke Ellington's Sacred Concert with John Faddis and with Rini Rodgers and all those guys. It's just such a
I think
fantastic.
you and I are alike in that too, because we love doing that. I love jumping into those musical situations and trying to contribute, and get and be appropriate to the style of the playing, and just being part of the. Yes, it's a rush.
I teach. Like right now, I'm teaching online. 41 out of 55 students, right?
That's great.
And usually, during non-pandemic times, I'm teaching about 55 students a week, sometimes 60
Wow.
to 65,
Wow.
which is a lot,
Too
That's a
much.
lot.
But the thing that I tell every single one of them is like, you have to be you have to be a musical chameleon if you're going to be a musician. And what that means is if you can go on a gig and someone will say to you, all right, man, we're going to play West End Blues by Louis Armstrong. You got to sound like Louis, right?
Yeah, you got to try.
Exactly. You play like you play like some big band thing, like what was that one? In the Mood. I remember I played In the Mood once with the John Cordoni big band, right? And I played the trumpet solo, and I was really just totally into like Fats Navarro at that time. And so I'm playing this In the Mood solo, trying to play all these Fats Navarro licks, right? And John comes up to me and he says, man, people come to hear my band play the music like they heard it in the past. And you got to play the solo exactly like the cat, that played it. And I said, okay, John, that's cool, So, I mean, that taught me a lesson, I could have gotten pissed off. I could have been offended, but I thought, he's absolutely right. In this.
He's your boss, it's just his gig, right?
How the hell with that? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, he's the boss.
But
Jeff?
Here's the other perception of that. The perspective is you also, in trying to emulate somebody else, learn a different style and a different way. Every time somebody says, try to learn this or try to learn that, you're opening yourself up to something new, a new style.
Let me add something too, because, 35 students a week. And I remember when I first started teaching, Roy Snyder let me teach one or 2 days a week and use the practice rooms at Homestead High School. They had a really good lead alto player there who was a senior, very good player, who I'm not going to mention his name. I'm sure you're going to guess who I'm talking about. But, I was kind of known because I played in Spang Lang. It's like, oh, Tom's a great funk player. He plays funk really great. Yeah, and I like to think that I am really good at that style. But I would always get there early and like practice for an hour before I had to teach my lessons. And I was playing out of the Omni book. And I was playing some Parker solos that I was trying to memorize and get down up to tempo. And there was a knock on the door, kind of early. I had only been there like 20 minutes, and I opened it up, and it's this student. And he goes, oh, it's you. And I go, well, who else would it be? Well, you sounded so different. And I go, how so? Well, usually I think hear you play funk stuff and stuff, but, you're playing, I go like, and I kind of went, I know what you're hearing. I switched styles. When I play Parker solos, I don't push as hard. I don't play as loud. I don't push as much, and I change my vibrato. And I change, I changed the way I articulate a little bit, but especially the vibrato. I said the way I hold notes and do vibrato, you hear me doing a David Sanborn vibrato to a Charlie Parker vibrato. It's completely different. I said, that's all I did. He said, well, you sounded so different. And I said, he said, it sounded like your tone changed. I go like,
Everything.
I wish I could change it that much to sound like Parker, but it was really just vibrato, And that's what I think you're talking about, switching styles and doing gigs.
Exactly.
You get to play and having, and it's fun. It's fun to learn other styles.
There's a couple of things, guys, that I just want to bring out for a young student. If anybody wants to learn how to play and gig as a musician, you mentioned learning different styles. You also mentioned doing what the boss says. He's the guy writing the check.
Yeah.
And being able to play. You cannot be a one-dimensional musician and work all the time.
Exactly.
Unless it's your own music that you're writing and you become a huge success on your own music.
Exactly. So I want to just share this story with you guys because I think this was one of the coolest things that I was ever witness to. Okay. So I'm over at Fantasy Records. I think it was Fantasy. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was Fantasy. I'm recording a CD with the Asian American Orchestra, and it was Anthony Brown became the leader of it, but it was started by Anthony, John Jang, and Mark Izu, and we're doing a Don Moyer on drums, playing
Hmm.
percussion, and then Steve Lacy,
Mm.
soprano saxophone, right? So we're playing stuff. We're recording these tunes, and the next tune that we're going to do, Steve Lacy had the melody that he was going to play the melody right on this tune. I think it was Crepuscule with Nelly, and we took a break for about a half hour. That whole half-hour break, I sat there and I listened to him play that melody about and over 100 times. He would take the melody and he would crunch notes a certain way. He would shape them a certain way. He would play them in different orders.
Mm.
Until he got his own interpretation of what he wanted to express
Mm.
with that melody. It was the most amazing thing. And it was like sometimes he would change one note, sometimes he would shape a different note, but kept the same other thing happening. It was amazing. It taught me a big lesson. You have to be creative. If you're going to be an artist, you have to be a creator.
Mm.
You got to take everything, all the experience that you have absorbed from playing with all these people and playing your heart out for so many years, and you have to shape the notes the way that your heart tells you to.
Mm. Mm.
It's so important to do that. And if you lose touch of that, I don't know what to say.
And that goes, it kind of reminds me of what I've said at when I've done clinics before. It's just like, it's just like when I'm playing a ballad melody and it's a heart-wrenching thing, I said, I'm actually generally feeling the emotion as I'm playing it. Like I'm feeling this huge, it's like, and if I do it well, I get to the end of the melody, I was like, because I just put everything I had into it. And can I share just this one story people haven't heard before? I used to play with this guy, Jim Chappelle. You guys both know that, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And when I first joined Jim, we just could afford to be a trio. So we had piano, bass, and I would bring a soprano, alto, tenor, clarinet, flute. And he had this tune called Embrace of a Lifetime, which he set up by saying, me and my dad had a big falling out, and then he had a heart attack, and I hadn't talked to him for 5 years. So I flew back to Michigan to see my dad, and I think he's dying, and we get a big hug, because I think he's dying, and then he doesn't die, but we like patched it up because we thought he was going to die, and we kind of made everything okay, and he's flying back home from Michigan, and he's thinking about that, and he writes this tune called "Embrace of a Lifetime," which is a beautiful song. And on the album, it's played by Mark Russo. It's on an album, Jim Chappelle album called "Living the Northern Summer," which is a wonderful album. And but I had to play it. This long, beautiful melody about your dad's dying and you're doing it. And I remember and it's this huge, long alto melody. It's like a long blow. And I closed my eyes. I would play this thing as best I could. And we were playing at the Madam C.J. Walker Theater in Indianapolis. You ever play there, John?
No.
So it's but you know who Madam C.J. Walker was, right?
No.
Madam C.J. Walker was the first black lady millionaire in the 1920s, as she developed her own cosmetics company.
Cool.
And she built this theater in Indianapolis that holds almost 1,000 people with beautiful African motifs. This gorgeous theater, and it actually got out of ill repair, and then the city of Indianapolis completely fixed it back up again. So, and it's got a high stage with orchestra pit. So I get done playing this. We get done playing this tune, and I open my eyes and I look down into the front row, and I can't make eye contact with people when I'm playing, but I look down, and there's this lady looking up at me, and she's got friggin' tears. She's got tears running down her eyes.
That's awesome.
And I went, I kind of went like, what the fuck, man? I went like, holy shit. I kind of went like, I just thinking about it now, I get a rush, and that's why I can't look at people when I play, especially like a ballad. I have to, it would mess me up. would
That's
really
awesome.
mess me up. It would really mess me up.
You know, I just wanted this all of this talk was making me think about something about John, and I want to ask Susan, because my experience with John taught me one thing when way back in those early circus days. Whenever John came up and wanted to talk to me, or if he could tell I was having a bad time or something, he'd always put his hand on my shoulder and say, "You okay?" And he'd look at me like, look at me.
Yeah.
It's not and just like, "Hey, you okay, buddy?" No, it was like, "Are you okay?" And I knew he was looking at me and asking me. And from that,
Yeah.
I learned if I really wanted somebody to understand that I was really concerned about them, I would always put my hand on their shoulder and look at them and ask them and look into their eyes. And I learned that from John. Is he that much of a teddy bear with you?
Oh, completely. He's a mush bag.
Excellent.
Man, okay. If I ever have another relationship again in my life, I want what you guys got.
Well, we were just friends for a few months, and he kept asking me to come to his gigs. I was going to school and working full time at the time. So I always said no. And I didn't realize that when a musician asks you to come to his gig, that's kind of a date. So I turned him down for a long time.
I know John. John's persistent.
He's persistent, I tell you. My plan was to move back home to Wisconsin where I could afford to live. And I was in that process. So I was not interested in getting to know anybody very closely, but he was a very nice friend. Well, I finally one day went to see him play. And it's been almost 23 years of marriage now.
Whoa. Okay.
Whoa.
What can I say?
Like, what was that first night? You didn't get the typical musician red flag thing. You
Yeah, I got plenty of that earlier.
Well, you know what it was I had a few of my women friends. See, I really relate to women.
Yes,
I have a lot of women friends. There's no other
they're always calling him up.
There's no extracurricular activity or anything like that. I have a lot of women friends because from when I was younger, I had a friend named Pauline Schmidt, and we were in high school together, and she and I became really great friends. And through that relationship, I learned how to relate to women.
Yeah.
And it carried with me all my life. So I mean, my ability to have women friends, came from that relationship.
I'm with you. I don't get why men and women can't be friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so what happened was when Susan came to this gig, I had like 4 other women friends there.
Okay, we got Jeff.
All really cool.
Jeff has a shit-eating grin on his face right now. So
I'm just listening. And all these girls are here, and I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, my friends are here, right? But she thought, wow, this guy's got some stuff going on,
Yeah, he's got all these women as friends. In my previous relationship, the guy didn't have one woman friend, maybe 2 or 3 guy friends. And I'm like, oh, this guy's really social. Well, yeah, he's Mr. Social. Now I found that out. It was something I was looking for, a man who can relate to people.
So how many of John's women friends are also your friends now?
Almost all of them.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's great.
They're cool.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah. There's a couple I haven't met because they don't live here.
Yeah, like my friend Debbie Welch or Debbie Batani. That's her married name. She's in Detroit.
But I would probably like her.
Well, she's a great person. She's a great person, yeah. And I don't know, just it's all good.
I'm with Tom a little bit. I've never really understood why it has to be you can't have women friends and women can't have guy friends and without suspicion and all this sort of thing. I suppose maybe it has a lot to do with who the people are. But
It does.
And I've always looked at women as people. Really, I have. And I'm going to relate this little quick story. When I, after I was in Tower, I was doing a gig at #1 Broadway with Tony Lindsay, and this was like 2005 or six. I've been in the band 4 or 5 years, coming back doing a local gig, and seeing some of the old same people. Tony advertised it. A lot of the people came out. It was packed. We had a line out the door. It was a great gig. And I got off to get a bottle of water, worked my 3, and then there was this woman next to me who I'd seen at many gigs. And I just said, "Hey, how you doing tonight? You like, nice to see you again. Thanks for coming on." She goes, "Oh, you guys sound great." Whatever. And then this man walks to her other side and leans in. So he's facing at me and she's in the middle. And he goes, I just had to come over and say to you, I've been watching you all night. And I just had to come up and say, you're the most, beautiful woman in the room. And she goes, "Hey, thanks a lot." And she fucking books. She walks away from him. She goes, "Yeah, thanks a lot."
how
And he puts his head down and he's sitting there and I said, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" And he looks at me. I go like, "Did you actually think that would work?" I said, did you ever think about coming up to a woman and just going, "Hi, how are you doing tonight?" And if they go, "Hi, I'm doing fine. How are you?" Then maybe they're willing to have a conversation with you. But if they go like, "Yeah, I'm okay," then maybe they're not interested. And then maybe you should pursue it. It seems to me that that's pretty obvious reading people stuff, but it does, and that's the way
Hey.
it's kind of people.
So John and Susan, I just want you to know that I've been looking at the comments and people think that the two of you are adorable. Yeah.
Oh boy, bag again.
All right. So this is a role model couple.
Yes, it is. It really is.
Couple.
Well,
Are we embarrassing you and putting you on the spot or anything, or?
Oh, of course, I'm real embarrassed, but
Let me
I
just
get
say
real
something.
easily embarrassed. He doesn't.
Let me just say one thing about the relationship. I waited all my life for her.
Ooh.
I waited all my life for her, and I'm so happy. Exactly. Where the mariachis? Damn it!
We need I need a music. What do I play? Well,
Oh, okay, I'll play something.
wait,
Yeah.
okay.
I tell you too. I spent so long. Oh, go here. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'll wait for you.
No. You
Go
first.
You go.
Okay.
Did you just improvise that, or was that based on something?
That's actually that was the a part of the melody to a tune I wrote called Crepe Suzette.
Oh, because it reminds me of "It's
Yeah.
and it's still at night and what is that tune? What
I'm
tune?
plagiarizing. Come on. No.
No, it just reminded me for a minute there. It had some of the exact same notes.
Yeah.
Some of the notes were exactly the same.
I mean, that's only 12 freaking notes, although sometimes when I'm playing, I can add in 13 or 14 or 15, depending on my pitch that day.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Or like in Colorado, where was that place that we played at where it was 117 freaking degrees in that tent? Remember that?
Wasn't that Chicago?
No. It was in Colorado. It was
Oh,
either
that was Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs.
We're
Remember
right
that?
where,
That's where
yeah, we're right where we started.
It's a hot place.
My tuning slide was out to here. If you can
Hey.
see that,
Yeah,
my tuning slide was out to there, and it was still sharp.
yeah.
It was so freaking hot.
Wow.
Do you remember? Do you remember? It was like it was really cold, and I had all those clarinet parts, and it was, I could not get my it's a wooden clarinet. I could not get it to play in tune. It was always flat, and you guys go like, remember? Weren't you with me when I found that short barrel at that store in Chicago? Didn't you come with
I
me?
was
Yeah, I still have that really short buffet barrel that I put on there that solved the problem. And it's sitting on my clarinet right now across the room, because I keep it on there because I just like the way it sounds. It's a really nice old buffet barrel.
I hate to keep bringing this back to the love. I'm sorry to keep bringing this back to the love couple, but
Okay, but
I know you two guys want to talk music, but this is fascinating to me, and I just want you to know, John, that I got a birthday coming up. I'm going to be 62. I've had 2 failed relationships, and all of my life,
only 2.
I have wanted to be able to say, "This is the woman I've waited for my entire life."
Yeah,
Always wanted to be able to say that, and I've not ever.
You just can't give up hope, man.
No,
You know,
it could
because-
happen at any time.
Yeah, because
My daughter Mackenzie says, "Dad, you're too old. Forget it."
hey man, I tell you what,
No,
hey,
kidding.
Jeff, man, if I could change my gender and be a really hot 62-year-old woman, I would hook up with you.
Oh,
I would.
Good dog.
I mean, no, at least there's one person.
I know I say outrageous things. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Basically, John saved me from the nunnery because I was giving up on men, and that was that.
I got to get more. Hold on, I'm going to get more. He's getting more wine. I'm going to get more water.
Okay,
so Jeff, you know, and just let me just say something to you about that, okay? I think, like to quote Rita Corona, "You're never too old for love." You
That's
know,
so true.
and the thing is like there's somebody out there who deserves a person like you, and there's somebody out there's somebody out there that does that you deserve to be with them.
Mm.
You know, and it'll happen, man. You know, it's like you got to keep your heart and your eyes
Gotta
open.
keep your heart open. Yeah.
You got to keep your heart
maybe
open.
that's the problem.
That's hard to do.
That could be the issue.
Well,
Yeah.
it could, whatever it is, you know. I mean, but that's the thing, you know. It's like, you know, you have to keep your heart and your mind and your eyes open,
Mm.
and you know, and you have to be ready, you know, because you never know who's going to walk into your life for a split second, and they could either leave or stay.
Mm.
They could
Never
turn you
know.
down a lot, like I did.
Yeah.
So be persistent when I meet them.
No,
If
not
they're worth it to you.
but not persistent in a way where you're bugging them for something, you know. But it's just, you know. Oh, can I tell you a great story?
Yeah.
Please.
I was playing with Pete Escovedo. Tom knows this.
Yeah.
With Pete Escovedo. What was that club's name? It's up in Seattle, Tom.
Jazz Alley.
Jazz Alley, right? I'm playing with Pete. And I had friends come on, what was it, Thursday and Friday night.
What did I do?
And then Jeff just disappeared.
There
he
we
is.
go.
And I had friends come on Thursday and Friday night, and on Saturday night I'm sitting at the bar after the shows. I didn't have any guests, and you know, I'm by myself. And all of a sudden, this woman comes up to me behind me, and she says, "John Worley, I know everything about you."
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I
told
said,
her.
"What?" She goes, I've heard every story. I've seen your text messages. I know everything about you. You know, I scared the crap out of me, actually. You know? For a second, you know? I mean, you talk
My
about
girl. Yeah.
the Grundy is growing tight, you know.
Yeah.
And so I turned around and said, "Excuse me, who are you?"
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
she
it's my
says,
girl
"Oh,
Aisha.
my name is Aisha. Is
Aisha.
that her name?"
Aisha.
Aisha. Aisha, right.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, really?" She goes, "Yeah." And she goes, "I'm Tom's
Yes.
girlfriend." You know,
Yeah.
she worked at the club, right?
Yeah.
And so what I did was I said, "Oh, so we talked." I said, I pulled out my phone. I said, "Oh, so you've seen these text messages, right?" And she looked at them. She goes, "Oh yeah, I've seen all of them." You know, so she knew everything, all this, the crazy stuff that Tom and I talk
Well, she
about,
says
right?
that, you know, well, she makes up shit like that, like you do.
Oh, awesome. Well, you know, we're brothers and
Perfect.
sisters from another mother, you know.
Yeah, she does.
So I said, "Look, can I take selfies with you and I?" And she goes, "Sure." So I took these pictures, right? And I
Yeah.
sent them to Tom and I said, "Hey, Tom, check out my new girlfriend."
Yeah, that's right.
I thought that was hilarious. And, you know, and she was just we sat down, had a really nice chat. You know, Tom, you were a lucky man. You were
You know, I haven't
lucky.
seen her
And she-
I haven't seen her forever.
well, I'll tell
Like
you what, she's,
like forever. I mean, it's like forever. It's like, you know, I'm sitting here and it's a weird thing, you know, to have a
Yeah,
relationship with someone who's not around. And but I guess, you know, I could rent a car and go up there. So I might do
well,
that.
at
But
some
I don't
point,
want to, I mean, I don't want to fly right now. I mean, do any of you guys want to fly?
No.
I saw a picture
No.
of a United plane and they were selling all seats, the middle seat.
Oh,
I don't want to sit in a plane.
No.
I mean, it's bad. I mean, no,
No.
it's people need to protest. And if they need to,
Yeah.
if they don't social distance because they're protesting, it's a bigger issue. And they need to do that. And I'm all, you know,
But
and believe me, my I know I swore I was not going to talk about this tonight, but I have to say that I've as a white man, I've decided that I need to engage these other white men who kind of don't seem to get it.
I'm
In
with
my
you.
opinion, they don't get it, and so I made it. And if I can just, and I'm being really, and a lot of the stuff I learned from John, you know. You know, I don't call people names. I've actually had some people call me names and put up memes about me, and I just go like, oh, like that's really helpful. We're trying to talk about something now, and you put a meme, and you don't know anything about me. Like one was about how liberals feel like when they do something great for blacks. You know, it was a stupid meme, and I go like, you know, and most people would go like, yeah, fuck you, motherfucker. But excuse me, folks, for being, you know, but you know, but I don't. I go like, that's not very helpful. And I try to, you know, I'm engaging these people in an argument, and their argument is just like, I really don't like all the lootings and stuff, and and I'm trying to explain
No one
this
does.
is not this is not what came first, the chicken or the egg. The chicken came first, and it's racism, and it's what blacks have been going through for 400 years.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And all of a sudden your life is disrupted for a little while because you're white, and all of a sudden protesters are coming. Oh, it's like I remember the 60s. I remember Rodney King. I remember a bunch of times when people rioted. And I'm going like, you guys don't get it. It's like, but all lives matter. Yes, of course all lives matter, but that's not the point. It's just like
Right.
it's just like we have to root out this systemic racism for good, or it's, you know, I mean, because it's dragging us down and the world down. I mean, look at this protest going on in Europe now and in other parts of the world on this now, which is freaking great, you know.
this
But
really happened.
you know,
Yeah.
but I had one person who I know very well, who's a white guy, wrote some, first he did condemn the cop. But then he wrote this thing, it's Antifa, and we got to get the military out there and just squash all these protests. And I wrote back, seriously, dude, you want to deploy U.S. troops on U.S. soil to take away people's First Amendment rights, right? Do you want to take away people's First Amendment rights? I go like, that's crazy. That's what's called fascism. And it
Yeah.
is, you
Mm.
know,
Yeah.
so
Hey,
anyway, I've been dealing with that and changing that. And I'm, you know, it's like how to, I mean, you're not gigging, right, John? What do you do with your time besides teaching?
I'll tell you what,
Student.
there's some really powerful words that I want to read to you guys, okay?
Yeah.
And they're on the shirt that I'm wearing. And this is Amy DeBalos's shirt. And there's some of the lyrics that she uses, okay?
Brave like you, bold like you, strong like you love yourself.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't.
You have to love yourself. People have to love themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They have to love themselves.
And
Because-
it isn't selfish either.
Exactly. It's not selfish. It's like, if you love yourself, it makes it so much easier for you to reach out and love other people.
Mm-hmm.
You have to love yourself. I mean,
And
it's so important.
And that's and if you love yourself, it's easier to love people and just and that's where I come with, like, there's the couple things I'm going to respond to, like this guy giving me beam, and I'm going to come from a loving spot. I'm going to try to just say, and even say to him, like, where's the love in your heart? I mean, why are you so angry? Why can't you? Where's your empathy? Why can't you be empathetic? I mean, as a musician, and everyone knows who's looked at my page lately, I posted some stuff about a racist musician, and a really.
But everybody knows that person, so it's
Everybody knows that we're supposed to say Hillary Jones,
Yeah.
and her racist posts, and hey, do you guys know Galen Green?
Mm-mm.
So he's a trombone player from San Francisco who became Facebook friends, and he wrote this beautiful story that I shared on my page about his trombone teacher, who was this black man who taught him about, not just about playing music, but about his life struggles and the stuff he went on. Also, the video I put on my page with James Armstrong, guitar player. You guys seen that? You guys seen that? They're like,
No.
James Armstrong sharing his life stories about being a black man in America and dealing with, white racism, and this, how it's systemic. I mean, how can you? I just, all you white people out there, listen to this, and share it with your. Probably most of the white people watching right now are not racist. Watching us, whatever we got, 20 to 30 people, but man, share it with your friends, because I have realized what I'm hearing now is that I, as a white man, have to be an active participant in making this change,
Right.
because the black people need us to make this change
It
happen.
needs to be the
It
white.
has to be white men and white women. Yes, white women, because there's a lot of racist white women too. White
Yeah,
men
there
and white women. And we need to, we're going to have to step up now. I'm not sure what that is. So an article about 75 things white people can do to help us. And I have read some of it, but
You know what, Tom?
it's just,
It's actually starting to happen, and I'm in total agreement with what you have to say, and I know I'm in total agreement with everything that I've seen John post. And we're at a time right now, unlike any other time, when we have a moment in which we can actually make an effective change for the good.
right.
And what's starting to what it needs to have happened, which is starting to happen, are the white people that are in power are firing people when they show racism. They're firing coach that the NFL commissioner came out today saying we were wrong. It's those kinds of people that need to step up in order to propel this change into the right way to go. It needs to be the white people in charge.
We have to do the changing. They can just be themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I'm a biracial person, right? I mean, I'm half Asian, Japanese, and the other half, which is really hilarious. I don't know. The second half is English, Irish, Scottish, Seminole Indian, German, and the Worley family actually originated in Normandy, France.
Isn't there a little bit of freak in there too?
We're freaky. You got all that shit in you. You're freaky. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, but it's like. So how do you I remember as a young kid, My and let me just state this: my family came from the South on my father's side.
Sorry. Okay.
So I heard all of this stuff. I heard everything that you could hear that we really we struggle against, and we just say, that's just not our thing, right?
Question, because I did meet your dad a couple times. Did he say stuff that was kind of off
No,
color?
not yet. But when my grandfather and his brothers would come over, my mom would be cooking them food, and I would listen to them talk, and it was, and I mean, it was like, I heard, and that's the way they grew up. I'm not saying they were bad people, but that's the way they grew up. That's the way that they looked at the world, right? They were racist.
Well, racism and hate has to be taught.
Well, they weren't hating, but they just, it was just, at least I didn't feel like they hated them, but they just, they were
Looked down on.
Right. And I would go to school, and the Hispanic kids and the African American kids and the Asian kids, we'd have to stick together, to protect ourselves, right?
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so, I mean, now I wasn't perfect when I was a kid. I mean, sometimes I would spout stuff that my father would say because I didn't know any better. I'm like 5 years old, right? How the hell am I supposed to know, right? So this is the thing. When you grow up,
wow,
and when you're growing up as a kid, your parents are very instrumental in how you're going to look at the, and so the thing is, so it wasn't until the first grade that I realized that all the things that they're saying about these other people, either Hispanics, African Americans, or African Americans, or anyone else, it's like that was wrong because we had the kids of color, we had to bond together to push that shit away.
When I was 4 years old, I was playing with some friends, and I don't actually kind of remember this. I came home and I said to my mom something about like, I hate black people. And my mom says, I said that to her, and she goes, what? She goes, who have you been hanging out with today, and who have you been talking to? And so whatever, and she goes, so you hate black people. So we had a housekeeper named Eleanor, who was, I think it was Eleanor, I loved her. She'd come in like 2-3 times a week and clean up and stuff. She was, and I loved her. She was great. And she goes, are you saying you hate Eleanor? Really? And I started like thinking about that. I was like, and then my mom grabs my arm and she pinches me like this. Do you see this, Tommy? Do you see this? This is skin. This is skin. And it comes in several colors of different. There's no white people. There's no black people. There's different colors of beige, tan, brown, and dark brown. And it's skin. It's what covers your body. And you see this? These are called bones. And we all have bones. We all have cheekbones, nose, and they come in different shapes and sizes. But we're all the same people inside. And she's like, really? She's like, really? So really? You're gonna say that you hate? And I just started bawling. I just like bawled. I'm so sorry. But that was my mom. That was my mom. And that was a lesson. I remember when she told me that again when I was about 8, and I went like, wow, did I do that? I go like, wow, that is so wrong. I just like felt it in my soul. Because she had done that to me when I was younger, and I kind of remember it. And she was pissed. She might have gone after the neighbor's parents.
Were you living in our neighborhood at the same time?
I was living in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Oh, okay.
That's where that was.
Right?
So I was born in Ann Arbor, and we moved here when I was 5.
Oh, okay. All right.
But
Jeff, Jeff, I want to just say one thing. I think you're a beautiful cat, man. I always, you're, and Tom too. And I got to tell you, I just really love you guys.
I love you guys too, man.
And I'm so happy that you're my friends. I'm so happy that you invited me to be a part of this, you know?
Well, it's this thing that Jeff started, which
Yeah.
just, by the way, hold on, time out. You put your Venmo up there and your PayPal. Jeff is just really hard, like to accepting any kind of donations, you know. Jeff, hey Jeff, have you gotten any unemployment yet?
It's about to end though. I got
Why end?
like 4 weeks or something, and then they said it's it's done. I've only got like $400 left.
Oh,
What?
Yeah,
man.
They
Yeah.
didn't do that to me. I
Yeah.
don't get it.
I mean, I don't know. And by the way, this
It might be worth being on hold for an hour and a half.
yeah,
Talk to someone.
and here's the other thing is all of my accounts. I've started getting emails now. June 20th and June 31st, they're going to start kicking back in. I'm already starting to get emails that I'm past due and I owe this amount of back. I need to get current the minute they start back in. On that, my cell phone
Holy
is
shit.
going to be $1,200 on the 20th, and they say that I need to pay it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to when we hang up, I'm going to send you something.
No, it's a
Shut up. Shut the fuck up. I'm going to send you something.
Hey, Tom, I got a great idea. Why don't we do a thing where you and I and Jeff and we get a bass player?
Yes.
We set up a thing. Let's make some music and put it out there. We'll find a way to.
Can we all do it on Zoom with Jeff in Burbank? Because we could actually physically get to a space where we could socially distance. But yeah.
You want? What do you think about that? Jeff? You still playing your drums?
no.
You have a drum set up?
No.
Can you set up a drum set?
Yeah, I would suck.
Well, we'll keep it in your wheelhouse. We'll keep it. No, like you don't know. You wouldn't suck if we do what is in your wheelhouse.
Well,
Like, what's your favorite wheelhouse? You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
right now,
Dude, it's like you'll be fine.
You can't argue with Tom. He won't let you argue because he'll talk right over you.
That's right.
That's my bro.
But when it's a cause for good, I'll especially talk over.
I gotta say there's a couple of Tom's friends have sent me some money, and there's one person that has met me through Tom that has been sending me like $20 a week.
Oh,
And I can't tell you how wonderful that is. And I didn't do this necessarily to make money, but I got to tell you, the money that I've received has been critically helpful.
Well, then I think everybody should, if they can and they have the funds, we should all kick in something to help Jeff out.
yeah, because when you're doing this from your heart, people do respond, actually.
Yeah.
Plus, Jeff had like tons of gigs booked, and he was fine until this thing hit, and it's all gone.
That's my story too.
Add my story.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just like, so were you guys able to get unemployment, John and Susan?
Try.
I didn't try because I'm teaching. I got
You
40
teach-
online students.
You're right, and yeah, you don't need to apply because you got work. Did you get unemployment, Susan?
Jeff, you'll get a kick out of this one. I have two piddly tiny little W-2 teaching jobs, but the majority of my income is self-employment.
Mm-hmm.
It took weeks of wrangling with the website because I couldn't get a person on the phone. I mean, one day I called 23 times and finally gave up. But they finally gave me an award, and it's going to be based on only my W-2 jobs. I'll be getting $100 a week.
Oh, that's nuts.
Okay, so let me say this. Let me say this. First of all, John, I'm honored, and Tom, I'm honored that of the kind things that you said about me, and I don't want to cry, but thank you for being.
That's right. That's all right.
That's why I was crying. Yeah, I'll cry with you, man.
There's been a lot of crying this week.
Yeah, I was crying. I was crying like 20 minutes ago.
And Well,
I was crying a day ago.
and as we started off early in this conversation, I would not be here if it weren't for John and then Tom. I would not be here. So
Oh.
all of my
Now,
life,
look what we dragged you into.
all of my musical career has been a result of those two guys. Otherwise, I would still be.
And some other people, Jamie Brewer, and you had some other people.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be here.
We're the foundation.
You two allowed me. It gave me the right that you kept my trajectory toward staying here. So now, having said that, I have had some issues financially. I have these last couple of months, and people. So the first 2 months, I had no money, and somebody stepped up and paid my rent for me for 2 months.
Ooh,
Ah.
man.
And then I got the unemployment, which paid this month's rent.
Good.
And now I'm seeing that when I check the EDD again, it says, well, we've given you all the money that you had, and you've got like $458 left. And I'm going, okay.
Are you sure? Are you sure we need to talk offline?
I'll check again, but from what I'm
I'm
hearing,
pretty savvy with the EDD website, so we need to talk offline.
well,
Talk to Tom then.
what
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
is
you
that
talked
Oh,
too?
I've been
Yeah.
struggling. Tears.
No,
Horrible.
okay, so I'm fully approved. They're giving me, they said you're approved for the first 3 quarters. They're giving me $18,000. They're giving me about $720 a week. I'm getting it. I have my. It's really, really. It's a godsend. I mean, I have this. I have my EDD.
Good.
I mean, and it's I thank Gavin Newsom for this. I have my Bank of America EDD. It looks like that. It's a picture of Yosemite. It's a picture of Yosemite. Comes like that, and
Write
that's
down those numbers.
and it's kind of interesting the way they do it in California
So
because
Tom, I
it's
have
different.
one too. I have one too, but they're telling me that the $600 federal thing that was coming with this is done.
Really?
Well,
Oh,
they maybe they stop printing money
I don't know.
because that's what they're doing, right? You know that, right? They're printing money.
yeah, which is not
Well-
good in the future.
Well, yes. It's talk about running up the deficit and printing up money, which I always thought that were, conservatives and Republicans were all for, lowering the deficit, and we can have seen where the deficit has gone since who has been president, and apparently Republicans are all for, getting the deficit low, except when they're in full power. Then they don't care.
Because
And they don't.
Then they don't care.
because
And
they
that's
make a lot of
just.
money.
Well, I'm sorry. And I got accused a couple days ago with this debate about being a liberal, and I'm going like, I'm not sure I'm a liberal. Always been an independent. I'm kind of a liberal thinker, and but I don't know. It's like when it comes to financial planning and stuff, I get the conservative view. When it comes to social issues like Black Lives Matter, and that makes me a liberal, okay, yeah, then I am. Yeah, like I'm
Somebody-
liberal. Like we need to have social change.
Yeah,
I mean,
somebody
to me, it's duh.
somebody accused me of being what they say unhinged because I was I thought the protests were good. That
This thing has changed me fundamentally politically. I've gone from a guy in Tower Power who wants to just promote about my music and our gigs and stuff to a person like, I got a chip in the game, and I'm a white guy who doesn't believe any of this racist BS. And, you know, and as I've seen it firsthand with guys I work with in bands. And I can't deal with it anymore. I mean, I'm willing to have people call me all sorts of names because of this. Whatever. I don't care. I have to do this.
fellas,
I have to convince one person who is not completely convinced that they don't believe what I'm saying, that they believe in some of the things I'm saying, if I can turn one guy, white guy, to going like, you're right, Tom, then I'll work on the next white guy. But if I can just turn one white guy, I'll keep going. But that will be a success. If I can just turn one guy to go like, yeah, man, no, you're right. You're right. I see what you're saying about Black Lives Matter. And I get it now. And
So-
it's like, yeah.
I've got an idea though about the music because I suck at playing drums. It's like trying to even get my sticks out. I would feel bad, but this is what I have. I have a cajon.
That could work.
We don't know. We don't want to know about your sex life.
So what about if we do something with bass and trumpet and horn and just an acoustic guitar or something and just a little cajon like a cahoostic.
What did you call me?
Kahuchi?
I called you a horny dude. Did I call you that? No.
I used to be.
A couple of horns, sax and trumpet, and
I
like
hear a song coming on.
what's that?
I hear a song coming on.
So-
Yeah.
Hey, Yamaha, is that a Yamaha tenor
That's
saxophone?
what you made me do.
The Yamaha?
Earphones on. Hold on. Can't
Yeah.
hear you.
Is that a Yamaha?
Yeah, that's a Yamaha Custom Z, my horn.
Brother man. Yamaha boys.
But my reed's like super dried up. It's shriveled into a little gotta get my reed wet. See this apply.
You know what I call that?
No, I don't know.
Loose noose.
Loose noose. See this play.
Well, wow, you know what? It's kind of working the two of you.
What?
That sounds good. That it's kind of working. It doesn't seem like there's any delay between the two of you guys.
Cool.
Just from the alcohol.
Speak for yourself.
I know. I'm sorry, man.
I'm drinking fizzy water.
I want to give a shout out.
Okay.
Pear Valley Winery in Paso Robles, the Tempranillo. Totally kicks ass.
Is that what you're drinking right now?
That's what I'm drinking right now.
Ah.
Mhm.
Usually you're drinking Solis.
Usually I drink Solis wines, but I opened up the Pear Valley.
Mm.
So tell me, can you guys hear this?
Yeah. What key? It's crazy, man.
Wow.
We're like Switcher Studio, like jamming together. This like crazy shit, man. Can't believe we just did that.
I wonder now. You know, nobody's been commenting on anything, so I think everyone just left.
No,
Well, you know, whatever. You know,
they're still here. They're still
hey, I just like hanging with the four of us. You know, the four of us
Yeah.
are here. We're hanging, and if people want to listen and they want, hey, and Jeff, can we change this to Saturday nights? Would that be a problem? Would that be a big deal?
no. I mean, it just depends on other people's schedules. You know, that's
Well,
fine.
this is because of my, you know, because of my golf. My golf thing is getting heavy on Fridays,
Oh, okay.
but I never play golf on Saturdays. Never.
Oh, okay. I've tried to keep my Saturdays open now as kind of like a day off, like a
Well, okay. Well, then keep it on Fridays because I made it back today. I can make it back, and you know, it was fine. Had a
well,
bite to eat.
well, this is fun. It's just like the old times where we're sitting around and talking and
Who's with us? I see we have 18 people left.
I've got
And
32.
You have 32. Oh, let me well, I have a little my watch party is not going well.
Actually, I see a bunch of Z's. My watch
33,
party.
33. That's pretty decent. Okay, that was fun. Okay. Kevin is Kathy is here. Kathy Esposito. Kathy and Kura Kaufman. Diana Petruzzi, Linda Oliver. I'm having problems scrolling through the.
We got nothing else. You know, what else would other than watch or something silly? You know, I mean, this is way more fun hanging out with you guys. And
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like it's been so much fun, Jeff, doing this show, and every time we hang out, we're hanging out with John here. Is arguably, you know, one of our favorite, you know, our favorite people ever.
absolutely, and you know, only that I feel bad about because I love both of you, and again, thank you for the warm stuff, the nice things that you said. When I was living in Mountain View, it was rough for me, but I wish that I would have spent more time with you, John, and Susan, and met Susan. You know,
You
I
haven't
wish,
met Susan yet?
Yeah.
no,
Oh, well, you know,
Once or twice.
Actually, we met Tina
Briefly.
yeah,
here,
Yeah.
but I think you guys are already split up by then.
Yeah,
I knew Tina very well. Well, not
when
very
all
well.
when all that stuff came down for me, I kind of disappeared. I just kind of
Yeah.
went off and just got away.
You had a bad deal in that one, my brother.
Yeah. Oh man, that one was rough,
I'm
man.
sorry. I'm all about equality, and let's listen to both sides of the story. But that was wrong.
No, that was
you got screwed on that end.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just I don't know if John, if I ever told you this, but her and I had come into a shitload of money based on some stock options we had where she was like employee number 14. And when we split up, she got it. She got everything. And I got moved out. And it was okay for me. But it was really rough.
It wasn't okay at the time, dude, but it's okay now.
Yeah.
That's the point.
I never knew that, Jeff.
Yeah.
And the thing is sometimes things happen. I've had similar situations like that with inheritances and things like that, that were promised to me that didn't happen, and sometimes it happens for a reason. We have a life's lesson to learn from it. We have to make good, despite those setbacks.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you've done some great things, Jeff. You've created jobs for a lot of people. You've created a business that serviced a lot of folks and did really good work. And sometimes every once in a while we gotta rebuild. I know I've had to do it several times in my life.
Oh yeah.
We all have to rebuild. And the thing is, you got friends like Tom and I, who would help you do whatever we can, to help you and would stand with you, So, something I'm going to tell you something that I learned from a financial advisor I met at a party.
Mm.
Always a stream of money coming towards you.
Mm.
Sometimes you have to do this. You have to hold your arms out in front of you like that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do this, you do this or you do that, then you're pushing it away from you. You have to be willing in so many different ways of doing this.
Mm.
It's really I learned a lot from I learned a lot from that and another guy, years ago. And I'm not even going to go there because that was something about being a leader.
Mm. Well, John, you have always been, in all honesty, almost like a big brother.
Me too. For me too.
Because for some reason,
because you're so old.
He is.
Oh, no.
Okay, I'm going to let my hair down now.
No.
Well, it looks cool, man. I like it.
No, so
I like it.
But the truth is John, you've always come out with that kind of brotherly kind of wisdom and advice that is always just right on and something that I've always needed to hear.
Do you know why I say these things? It's because nobody said it to me. Except for certain people, like that person, a financial advisor that I met at a party, and then Morris. What was his name? Not Tony Morris.
No, because
Mercury Morris.
No. Here's a cat. He was a drummer with with Elvis. He was a drummer with Elvis. I think it was Tony. I don't remember, but I was playing with a guy named Sonny King in Las Vegas at the I think it was the Dunes Hotel, and
Wow.
and this cat, that Sonny, he would introduce me as here's my little Japanese boy from San Francisco. He's going to play a solo for you now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was some fucking racist ass bullshit. But anyway,
Yeah.
But the drummer, he had a booking agency business, and what he would do is he would get people to play with this guy, and then we would stay at his house, and he would say to me, "Oh, Bobby Norris, was it Bobby? No, Bobby."
Yeah, I know that name.
Whatever. But he said to me, he says, so John, what are you doing with your life? And I said, man, I'm playing all the different gigs in San Francisco. I'm playing shows. I'm backing up singers. I'm backing up major acts. I'm doing all this really fun stuff. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life because this is what I want to do. And then he said, well, kid, those days are going to be over soon. And I looked at him and I said, what? He says, yeah, those days are going to be over for you. And what he didn't say was it was because of age. And it wasn't, and he didn't say because it was because of times change and different forms of music were, what was, certain things would go out, certain things would come in. You got to be in touch with everything, right? But he just said, those days are going to be over. If you want to survive as a musician, you have to be a creator. He told me this, and I said, okay, and I listened to him some more. He gave me some advice, and I remember in 1988, what was it? It was 4 years after I played with this guy. I thought, I really love jazz. I want to play jazz for the rest of my life. So what I did was, just like I had done from an early age, I assimilated myself in different fields of music that I felt would help me be a better musician and would bring me more income, right? So I went from playing Tower Power music when I was 17 years old. I was actually 16 years old. My first solo with You're Still a Young Man.
Hey, just Tower Power music is really going to make you rich. Go on.
No, but the thing is, it was the start of my career, and I'll never forget. I cracked the first note on "You're Still a Young Man," and that's been my that set the tone for my whole career. Anyways, but the thing is like, so I went from R&B, I went to Latin jazz or Latin music, and then I decided, I wanted to learn how to play casuals because then I could, play with the older cats who knew a lot of stuff and blah blah blah. But anyway, so I guess where I'm going with this is all my life, all I've done is try to absorb all the different styles of music that I could do. And so I could survive as a musician, survive, and so, and, I'm not going to say I was like a master at everything, because I wasn't, because there's,
you're one of the most versatile trumpet players I know.
Well, that was my goal. But back in 1990, what was it? 90, I can't remember. It was in the early 90s. I decided, and I remember Tony Morris, that was his name. Bobby Morris. And I thought, I have to set my course. I have to be my own man. I'm going to play jazz because that's what I've always loved to do is play jazz. Yep. And so I started playing with all these different people like John Jang and the Pan Asian Orchestra. I had a band with Jim Norton called Bringing Corners. Yeah, as far as big bands go, I played with Full Faith and Credit, Rudy Salvini's band. I played with all these different bands. I did everything I could to assimilate myself in the jazz field. I even went to jam. I remember going to a jam session for the first San Francisco International Jazz Festival, SF Jazz Festival. And I sat in with Eddie Marshall and all these cats, and they looked at me like I'm a young guy, and I was. And I remember I went up and I played what was it, all blues with them. They let me come up on the last tune, and I got lost. I got lost because you know what? I was by then I probably had drank too much, or whatever.
So it was not a good night.
No, it was, but it was an educational night because whenever I would have a thing where I would fall down, I would pick myself up and I would say, okay, what could I do better next time? What could I do better? Yeah. And so so I assimilated myself into the jazz field, and I played with different small groups. I played with big bands. I played with, the Bay Area Jazz Composers Orchestra. I played with Rudy Salvini's big band, Rudy Castro big band, Full Faith and Credit. I did all these different things. And then that allowed me to eventually work into playing like in situations like with Carla Blade Big Band. I played with Carl. I was a soloist in a Carla Blade's big band in Monterey Jazzville. I played with Wayne Shorter. I played all of Lou Soloff's parts.
Yep.
With Wayne Shorter's band.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I know you did all that. It's
I
great.
did Don Byron. I played with Don Byron. I played with all these people, and the thing about being a musical chameleon, you have to be so strong as an artist. You have to be so strong as an artist to be able to like put those shoes on and fucking walk a mile in them. You have, and that was what I did all my freaking life. That's what I did. And so
that's because you're one of the most authentic people I've ever met in my life.
Completely.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
I just tried to do the best that I could, and now I play what I want to play.
Yeah, you. I remember back at Cal State LA, you saying, "I just, my goal is to play what I want to play."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you weren't a snob and said you didn't like other kinds of. So you turned me on. It's funny. John was the first guy that turned me on to like, oh, I like this rock band, and like in 1979, 80, I was kind of a jazz snob, and John was like. I remember John was listening to Led Zeppelin, and I was going like, well, Led Zeppelin. John goes, oh, they're fucking great. John goes, they're great, and I go like, well, they must be great. And it's just like, and they are great, and I get it now. I get it now.
I've never lost passion for the music.
And John turned me on to Level 42. I remember that. There's another band I would have never heard that's kind of a rock in the rock genre, funk. You know?
The thing about John, though, and I've said this to you before, the one thing that always stood out to me about you, and you would take your horn and you would just look at it and go like, fuck, I love fucking playing this horn, man. I just fucking love playing horn. Right, Tom?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Okay, but let me just say one thing. Okay, so when you're with your significant other,
yes,
don't you do the same thing?
Oh, like she was the flugelhorn.
Okay, we could talk about it later.
I don't have a significant other.
Yeah,
but so oh man, so listen, we've been 2 hours. We've been at 2 hours.
I know, but I want to ask a question. It's like, is this whole thing like heating you guys up? Is there like some heat going on there in Palo Alto?
We have had a heat wave. No, you know what? We could stay on all night. I feel it.
But Jeff might have to do donuts with Mackenzie.
Actually.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So do you know about Jeff's daughter, John?
Yeah.
A second.
So I got Mackenzie to come on with us about 3 weeks ago, and I never met Mackenzie. And Jeff has been talking to me about Mackenzie. He tells me just not personal stuff, but just how much he thinks great she is, and they had the great conversations. And so I really, as much as I love Jeff, I wanted to meet her, and she came on to the show, and she sat behind the mic and she talked to me. And of course, she's shy, but was so Mackenzie. There you.
Oh my God!
I can't believe you're bringing it. You are bringing it, girl. That you're getting behind the mic and talking to us. Okay. So
this is Mackenzie. This is John and his wife Susan in the middle. And
I'm Mackenzie.
You've met Tom. So you have to actually speak up though and get close to the mic.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
John, do you have any questions for Mackenzie?
Yeah. Does your dad's feet smell?
Yeah.
Woo!
Go out, John.
I smell.
Okay, I'll shut up. Sorry.
No, I think John, you should like interview Mackenzie because I know you're such a kind person and you do it well.
Well, Mackenzie, I know your big sister, but I don't think I've ever met you before.
I wouldn't remember, so I don't know either.
I don't think so.
That's all right. You know what? I'm old as dirt, so it's okay.
You really have to.
But we both know Michaela.
Yeah, they both know Michaela.
Okay.
Yeah. So, do you play an instrument?
No.
Okay. What do you love to do? What is your passion in life?
I don't know.
Okay, well that's perfect because you know what that means that your heart is open to so many different things. You know, so just keep your eyes open, keep your heart open, keep your mind open, and eventually you'll find something that will really resonate within you, and then look out, world.
Okay.
You know.
Tell
All
them-
right.
Tell them about the Burroughs choir that you have been doing and want to do because that's music. And John and Tom are musicians.
What do I say about it?
I'll interject, Mackenzie. Mackenzie, what's the name of your high school?
John Burroughs High
So
School.
John Burroughs has a great vocal and drama department, and Mackenzie's very involved with singing in the choir, and she's got an award. I believe you got an award
Uh-huh.
for being a sophomore or junior. Yeah, sophomore, right?
Freshman.
Freshman. You got a
Wow.
freshman award for singing, and so she's very involved in the vocal musical program at her high school, which has a very good program.
What style of music do you like to sing?
I like R&B the best. So
Okay, sounds good.
What are some of your favorite R&B songs?
Mm, I don't know. I have a-
You're gonna have to fess up on the K-pop.
It's okay. Don't be embarrassed. Hey, it's all good. It's all good. This is
Okay.
no. Look here. I know. Here's the thing: is you have a father. You have a father that obviously has a large musical background and has listened to a lot of music and has tried to. Right? Am I right in saying that he's tried to expose you to a lot of music? Right?
Yes.
He's played a lot of music for you, some of which you've liked, some of which you've gone.
Mhm.
So, of the music your father has played for you, can you name one thing that like you went like, oh, that was really cool?
Young Hearts Run Free by Candy Staton.
Okay.
Who?
Candy Staton.
Candy Staton?
Mhm.
I wonder.
I'll play.
Me and John don't know who that is. Can you guys send me a link? Is it funky?
Sorta. Here, I'll play. It was a hit.
Okay, now play it. Yeah, play it.
Here, this was her hit. Okay. Oh, sorry.
Scared me.
Did I just scare you?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the sense in sharing this one and only life? Ending up just another lost and lonely wife. You count up the years and they will be filled with tears. Love only breaks up over
John, stop.
Oh, sorry.
every woman that he can. Say I'm gonna leave 100 times a day. It's easier said than done when you just can't make away. Oh, young hearts, run free, and never be.
Okay, so
Okay, this sounds old school to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is.
When was this recorded?
Probably in the 80s.
This was like in the 80s.
Okay. Why? How come I
Sounds
don't
like
know? Why come we don't know who this is? Candace who?
Candy Staten.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. So you like that? Okay. So we have a baseline of groove here, which is kind of cool.
Okay, so let me play you something. Let me play you something that she likes.
Okay.
Okay, this is one of her K-pop
Oh,
groups.
So you love this? No, don't be embarrassed. You love this, right?
한 손에는 커피를 들고 이어폰 한쪽을 꼽고 손끝이 스치는 바람을 걷는 별거 아닌 취미같이 할 시시콜콜한 날 안아줄
God, that's sweet.
그런 사람이 어디인가 있길 바랬는데 여기 있네 말을 걸까 말까 한참 고민들이 막 머릿속에 자꾸 엉켜 같이 마시려고 했던 커피는 벌써 이미 두 잔째 비워.
So that's some of the stuff that she listens to.
Man, I love that.
I'm totally down with that shit. That's funky, man.
Hey, we should do a remake on that, Tom.
Is
with Jeff.
that? But were they singing in English?
it was mainly Korean, but they have a few lines.
Yeah, Korean.
Okay. Oh, that's Korean because I was
Yeah.
really listening closely. I couldn't understand the language. Do you know the translation of the lyrics in English?
No.
You don't know. I'm just curious. Yeah, it was. Wow, that was Korean.
I really like that.
I've been to Korea many times recently in the last 5
Really?
years. Yeah, we've done 4 gigs in Korea in the last 6 years, and it's been really great. And,
Wow.
and what a great country! And it's funny because my parents were linguists, and it's a hard language when I hear it. Like I hear Japanese, I even hear Chinese a little bit, like where I can hear the words. But Korean, I don't have an ear for yet.
Can I play this one?
I don't have an ear for Korean yet.
So, Mackenzie, can I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
How did you get introduced to this music?
My friend Zoe kind of forced it on me.
Really?
Yeah, she sat me down and made me listen to BTS.
Oh, okay. So what did you think about it afterwards?
I was actually originally listening to K-pop. I just didn't know it. I thought it was in English, but it wasn't. So I
Mhm.
really liked it because it just was good.
Hey,
Yeah,
you
because
know,
you groove to it, right? You groove to it.
there's
There
no
you go.
you don't have to you don't have to give it a reason why you like it. You just like it. It hits you somewhere in your
Mhm.
being or your soul, and you like it. You don't,
Yeah.
and you never have to be embarrassed or apologize for what you like. You like it. Yeah, you like it. It makes you feel. Here's the whole thing: is music is a language of emotion and communication to your emotional self, your inner being, and it's a language of feeling. And if something you listen to, Quincy Jones had a great quote, and he said, "Don't ever judge a music because if there's like millions of people who listen to a music that you don't like, but it moves them. So who are you to say that that is bad music?" And in
Mhm.
that genre of music, like let's say rap, whatever, in the genre of rap, and people who are aficionados of rap, you'll get people say that's really shitty rap, and that's the dope rap. That rap is ridiculous. You listen to you want to get into rap, listen to that. But that's not good. And I'm going like, I don't know anything about rap. So let me listen to it all. And it's about emotion and feeling. So it's a subjective. My point is it's a subjective art form. And if you like it, that's all that matters, man. If it moves you, I'm not going to judge that. But as us as musicians, and your dad's a musician, we're going to like expose you to like other stuff to listen to. Like
Hey, Mackenzie,
what about this? Go ahead.
do you know who Quincy Jones is?
I've heard of the first.
You should look him up. You know what? I got a chance to play with him once.
So did
And
I.
Did you? It was
Yeah.
really fun. You know, Lexus, the first, this is the funniest damn thing. The first year they put out, Lexus put out their SUVs. I got a chance to play the coming out party for that in San Francisco at at the Palace of Fine Arts. Jerry Hay was the arranger.
Whoa.
Quincy Jones conducted. Patty Austin and James Ingram were the featured singers.
Woo.
And I got a chance to sit down with Quincy Jones and chat with him. It was a really, really fun experience. I asked him about it, because he used to be a great trumpet player. Most people don't know that. He was a great trumpet player. He played with Clifford Brown, a big band, and they played in Europe. He played all over. He's such an incredible force in the music business,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, whatever, I'm not going to go on more and more about that. But the thing is if you like if you like a genre of music, and you feel it in your heart, then you got to go for it. That's the thing, and it's like Tom, look at him.
What? Go on.
Tom and I played so many different styles of music in our freaking relationship together. It's been so great,
And now, but also, 18 years now I've been playing the same genre of music.
I wish I would have told Emilio at the time that he called me to come down and audition and play. If I would have known you were going to play in the band, I would have jumped right in there.
Well, they say, Mackenzie, that the saying, timing is everything. Have you heard that yet? Have you heard that saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just kind of timing happens. And if you look up, Google Quincy Jones, I mean, he's super successful, so he's a millionaire.
Yeah.
Do you like Michael Jackson?
Well, sort of, yeah.
Well, Quincy Jones produced a lot of those epic Michael Jackson albums. Quincy Jones produced those things, and he was, he moved to Seattle when he was a young man from the South, and he lived up in. Is that where he met Ray Charles or Count Basie? Can't remember. So Quincy Jones, arranger, great music, and just multi-genre musician.
So
Quincy went from being a jazz musician to producing R&B.
So I'm just going to tell Mackenzie, I'm going to jump in the picture here, that John and Tom are my two oldest friends in California.
And Mackenzie, if you need to call donut time on us, it's okay.
So we do our donut run.
Yeah.
We're doing a donut run? Oh, I didn't know that. Hey.
She's okay. So I'm trying to get her to get up on the mic and talk loud.
Well, we'll work on that, and that's okay. No, I mean, we got 33 people watching. I mean, it's not a big deal. How many people? How many people are still on? I'm going to check this out right now.
27.
27. Which is 27 people are. Who cares what you say? You can say anything you want, girl.
No. These people are important. If they're still listening to us, they're important.
Of course they are. what did I say to say that they weren't important, John?
Well,
You're,
yeah, like,
you're always up my ass, man. I'm really tired of you being up my ass constantly.
well, you got to put your pants back on then.
Jeez, man, God, get out of my. Jeez. Mackenzie, do you have friends like that?
I can't.
Okay, so I'm kicking Mackenzie out.
She's the one to get out of here. Thank you, Mackenzie. Thank you.
Just call me the Groove Killer.
She's hitting me. She goes, "Why'd you make me do
Yeah. No, thank you, but tell her thank you. Thank you. That was great.
Say, I love you, Dad."
Uh,
Oh, come on. She's
I like her, man. I like her.
Hey,
I
Jeff.
like her a lot.
Jeff,
yeah.
I never knew you had a daughter named Mackenzie.
You didn't know that?
No, I never did. No.
So yeah, John, and he has the Cody and Michaela.
Yeah. So
I knew Cody and Michaela, but I never knew Mackenzie.
yeah. So Mackenzie was born in 2005, and when she was 3, we moved to Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. All right. That's probably why.
Yes. So she's been, this home that we live in now is where she started school in Burbank, and we've been here for 12 years.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. And it's just her and me and the Burbank choir. We were actually having this discussion about something that she's wants to be doing and what she feels passionate about, because she likes dancing and she sort of likes singing, but she doesn't feel like that's something she wants to be, or that she has the kind of passion that like we have maybe about music. But she's involved in the choir at Burroughs High School, and their choir is what the Glee TV show was fashioned after.
Yeah, that's right.
A lot
That's
of
cool.
and dancing, and it's a real, high level choir. And she has to really work at it. And she was just saying last night, I got to find my passion, And she actually thinks about trying to be a English or teach English as a second language, or teaching.
What?
Oh, and that's what I've been trying to tell her, Tom, that your parents taught English as a second.
Well, my mom, it's second best is, my mom really well.
Yeah. And John, this is my daughter, Mackenzie, and she's going to be 15 in July 28th. And so one of the things that we do, especially during the COVID thing, is since there's not many people out driving late at night, we go buy donuts, we drive around, and I try to get her to drive. It's kind of cool. I'm gonna drive it. She thinks I'm an awful driver.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff, do you take her to Tommy's?
No. No, we don't go to Tommy.
Good for you. Or Noggles? Do they still have Noggles in LA?
No, not that I know of. I don't know about Noggles. But where we've been to a number of times is Bob's Big Boy.
Okay.
You have a Bob's Big Boy that's still in business down there?
Yeah. Yeah.
So is it? I'm wondering if the Bob's Big Boy, because they used to be a corporation, are they just like some privately owned thing that has the facade of the Bob's Big Boy in there?
No, this is like store number 3, the one that's by our house in Burbank.
Do you know? I'm curious about whether there's a corporation behind that at all. Still.
Well, there are still a couple of Bob's Big Boy stores. This one was one by NBC Studios, though, where the Beatles actually have eaten there, and Leno used to go there all the time, and it's kind of got that vibe to it because it's right.
Is Cantor's Deli still down there?
I love Cantor's.
Yes,
I love Cantor's.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
As regarding Bob's Big Boy, Dan Marcus posted a little meme or a smiley face of some guy throwing up. Thank you, Dan. We really appreciate that. That
Hey, man,
positive.
I got to tell you about Dan Marcus. So, if anybody's listening who doesn't know Dan Marcus, incredible trombone player
Oh yeah.
from the Bay Area. I think from Santa Cruz, and played with Ray Charles for a long time.
He's from
And
Half Moon.
and a great jazz player, and just great trombone player, great jazz player, great reader. And I remember talking to Dan. If you're listening, and he goes like, what did you study? I was asking like, what did you practice and stuff? He goes, well, I practice. He goes, but mainly I learned by playing with bands, playing bands all the time, and I learned theory and stuff, and I practiced some, but where I really honed the way I play was because I just played all the time, and I got to figure it out, and I was going like, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I think that's the way so many cats learned back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, because they just played with people. There was jam sessions happening and so many live gigs. But I remember Dan telling me that, and I remember going like, with Spangling and just playing so many live. I learned so much just playing night after night after night on the gig. It was another way to learn.
You want to know something? So we've been talking so long. People have left and watched the TV show and came back, and we're still here.
I know. What time is it?
It's
10 to,
almost,
we set a new world record.
This is a record. But also somebody watching said they actually worked at a Bob's Big Boy in Whittier.
Come on, John.
It's slowly disintegrating here.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me playing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I said, come on, John, let's go.
Oh gosh.
Keep going. I'm going to turn you up. There we go. There we go.
God, reminded me of? This is reminding me of cave nights, late nights in the cave.
That's right. Cave drawings. Remember those cave drawings? Cave thing? And Jim Norton being part of that? Oh yeah.
Yeah, just sitting and just talking about stuff for hours. Music and everything. And what's really interesting is when we look back to what we were thinking and talking about then, and from then till now, we've all accomplished and done so many of the things we thought about and talked about doing.
Which,
that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Is really cool. All of the people we talked about meeting, all the people we talked about wanting to be in bands with, or all that stuff, we've been able to do that.
Man, I've had an incredible life.
Man,
I'm very grateful for everything. And in this weird times, getting into gratitude, and always gratitude about where I am. And I'm getting unemployment. You're not. It just pisses me off. That pisses me off.
Well,
that pisses me off.
What I think is really interesting when they sent me the thing, and I've got I look and they said you've got nothing available to you for the next 2 weeks, but you check back with us in 2 weeks, and that my account is at 458. So it sort of baffled me a little bit, and I'm not sure that there's anything going to come.
Let's talk tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm more EDD savvy than most people.
Okay.
I'm pretty I've been through it a bunch of times. I've helped some people get their unemployment. I mean, I've got. They basically for the first quarter, they've given me about $17,500.
Jeez.
The pump, yeah, no, they said this is how much you're getting for the first 3 months, and you have to and we're giving it to you in weekly installments, and
You know,
they're filling up my card,
I
and
think
I got it.
is based on the fact that you were employed. Some of that is based
Well,
on an employee.
I actually think there was some angel in the EDD that saw me and saw the name Tower Power.
Oh, that's a good. No, can I float the Tower of Power name at somebody?
Yeah, if it helps, I mean, I've always wondered that if that's true, because everything went good, and then so when I applied for unemployment, they gave me some money, and then I went back and I certified for back payments going back 6 weeks.
Oh,
I've been
was,
and they've given me most of that money.
yeah. See, mine. I was only eligible for that last bit that was rolled out on April 28th. That thing that was for self-employed.
Yeah, I mean, so you did it at the same time I did.
Yeah,
That's
you were able to get back stuff and all that. Mine was strictly only self-employed, and I couldn't qualify for anything.
you're supposed to be covered under the CARES Act,
Uh,
but we're not. That's the thing is we're not of money. It's underfunded.
yeah, there's that's what I'm saying is that lasted for like 6 weeks, and then that was it.
Yeah, they're trying, and they've just tried to do. Mitch McConnell just batted down another one.
Mm.
That fucking asshole. Sorry, who's listening? That fucking asshole.
We're getting. This is definitely cave night. We're
Notice I'm not saying anything.
yeah, right.
I'm kind of living here by myself, and I'm getting pissed off, man. I'm ready to. I don't know. I'm ready to engage people on this bullshit.
Well, okay, so let me just add my perspective on this, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I don't mind.
Go
ahead.
I can't believe people are still watching us.
I can't believe it either, but I don't care.
Yeah, my perspective is, like I said, if the stream is directed towards you, you do this and you accept it. And if it's not coming towards you, then you find ways of directing it towards you. And sometimes
Go ahead.
Don't know.
Go ahead.
I have never, I never ever thought of myself as doing what I'm doing now, which is teaching online. But when the pandemic happened, for 2 weeks I did nothing. What I did was I kind of decompressed so I can think clearly, and I could figure out what the hell am I going to do? And then people were asking me about teaching online, and I said, okay, well, I'll do that. I'll teach online. And I did something totally different than I ever had to do. And it was really interesting because all of a sudden when I decided to do this, okay, I will accept this stream of income. Then people started saying to me, hey, we're interested in having you record something. We want you to record with us. We want you to do this and do that. And other people said, well, maybe we could do this, we could do that, And so what I did was I kept my mind open and I listened to what people were saying and I gravitated in that direction. And the people that helped me with that were like Johnny Vermont, really good friend of mine, and Tony Corman, and some other folks. And so now, I turned my teaching studio, which was 55 students a week, and then I turned it into an online teaching studio. I'm teaching 41 students a week.
It's so good.
So I was able to keep my income stream. I didn't. Some people said, well, you could go and get unemployment because of you lost your gigging, stream of income. And I thought to myself, well, there's so many other people who need that money. A lot of people need that money,
I need it.
yeah, I need it. So I am not going to go and try to get unemployment when there's so many other people who really depend on that money to do it,
Yeah.
And so now, and so I'm learning a whole different way of being in the world of what I do, which is teaching and playing music. Now, as far as the playing music part, well, that's, I still have to reconcile that, So I still practice. I keep my chops up. I do the best I can. My chops are like about 60% of what I felt like they were at, like 3 months ago.
Okay.
But at the same time, hey, we have to find different ways of surviving in this world, because that's just what we have to do as mammals. That's what we have to do as human beings,
Mm-hmm.
And if some things don't work, you do this. Things that do work, you do this, and that's all I got to say. So, Jeff, good luck to you. I will do everything I can to help you, whatever I can. And Tom, you have an incredible gig. I'm so happy that you found, you got a chance to play with Tower of Power, and you've been doing that for 18 years because you know what, in your heart, I always knew that even from the Helios days, that was your soul, brother. That was your soul.
That's my home base.
Exactly. You were capable of doing so many other things, just like Jeff.
I am. And I am. I lost my train of thought because I was.
Well, then let me finish what I'm saying.
Go ahead. I want to go ahead, finish because I want to say something after you're done.
And then, and so how we move from here is who knows what'll happen. But if we do this,
yeah,
we will recognize the things that come to us, and then we give to that, and we create something. Maybe we'll create something new. Who knows? Who knows what will happen? But the thing is, we adapt. We put our hearts forward and our minds forward, and we do the best we can, and then fuck everything else. Who gives a fuck what Donald Trump says? Who gives a fuck what Mitch McConnell does? You know what the thing is we have to start grassroots, and we have to guide people. We're leaders. We have to guide. We have to set an example. We have to show people what is possible out there. And we have to do it with passion and love in our hearts,
Yes.
And we can do this. We can fucking do this, and we can make it better for so many other people by being examples for people to follow.
Yeah.
Well,
and that is what the world has brought to us.
Because we're basically, we're sitting here with three white guys.
John.
I mean, I know John's half Japanese, but
2.5.
Yeah. but I mean, even the white people, I mean, looked at Japanese as being not black, because Japanese are fair skinned. I mean, they can tan, but they have white skin. Japanese people have white skin. They're very fair complexioned. And anyway, that's not the point. And we can make a difference. And I just want to say, John, you have always been, especially in the late 70s and early 80s, you have kind of always been one of my guideposts in my life. And you are the same person, but a better version, a bigger version of the person you were back then. And to me, dude. And I just love talking to you. You're such an idiot. No, I just had to say that you're not an idiot. You're not an idiot.
No, I'm not an idiot. I know myself better than that.
I was just getting all choked up. Oh,
John,
yeah.
do you guys know Alan Rotter? Did I say his name right?
Alan who?
Rotter?
How do you spell it?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. So I said, I can't believe people are still watching. And he says, I can't believe it either.
How many people?
He's a guitar player.
He's a guitar player. Okay, so he knows you. Okay.
And he's a great cat. Let me tell you, man, Alan Roeder is a great person, and he's very intelligent and he's very talented. You know?
Hey, does he have any gigs?
Yeah, give us a gig.
Yes, he does.
A gig. So
In his field, yes, he does. Yeah.
okay. So anyway, he's been commenting, and then so after Tom said his piece, then he goes like, okay, now your turn. Go, John.
He knows me pretty damn good, you know.
Yeah.
He's a good cat. Yeah.
Okay. So
We just set a world record for the longest Friday night hang ever. Which
2
I knew this was going to be that way.
Yeah, but you know what? I love both you guys, man. And you've been my friends since the circus days. That's 40 years. This August will be 40 years since I joined and met you guys.
Yeah, wow.
It's a long time.
Yep, 1980. August, it was like August 5th or something, 1980.
Yeah.
The only thing that pisses me off about it is that you guys have more hair than I do.
Yeah, COVID hair. Yeah.
Hey, okay. So we're letting our hair down. Okay, here we go.
Tom's got a lot of hair.
I have no thinning yet. No,
Okay.
it's pretty much
I'm very
it's pretty much
to the world.
it's pretty much obvious I get to keep my hair, which
Yeah.
is not a big deal. I'd rather play like Michael Brecker, John Coltrane, and Dexter Gordon combined, and I would give up my hair for that.
I'm going to. I get to one of these days. There's a few drummers that I'm going to get to interview as since I've been doing this. Tonight is the end. This is the 11th week that I'm doing this. Tonight is.
You have not put up your PayPal Venmo shit yet.
I did for a short time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes.
Jeff, would you be interested in having my friend and vocalist Amy DeBalos on your show?
Sure.
Man, she is a wonderful vocalist, and she's a great person, and and I think, I don't know, I think you would dig where she's coming from.
Yeah. Well, let's have Tom just blacked it. No.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, have her get in touch with me.
Okay. All right.
You guys know who Ralph Humphrey is?
Yeah, of course.
Is he a golfer?
Dick.
Man, so Ralph Humphrey is like a legend for drummers.
Yeah.
And I'm going to interview him. We're going to have a conversation.
Oh, cool. When's that?
We haven't set a date yet. But probably next week or the week after.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome. Dude, Ralph Humphrey is like a legend in the world.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
He has a body of work that's most people that would have been listening to us and are listening to us aren't even aware of his body of work because he's never been a big star.
No, but a lot of drummers who have become big time drummers say, "Oh yeah, I studied with Ralph." Oh, I studied with Ralph.
No, yeah, in the musician circuits, he's like a legend.
So the blessing that I've had from this COVID thing, the blessing that has come to me is the opportunity to just do this and hang out with you guys and talk to you guys more than I have in years, and give me the opportunity to talk to a few people like that I've always wanted to be able to just sit and have a conversation with, and being able to sit with Dennis Moody and talk to him, and then Michael White the other day and just talk to him, and Brandon Fields, and all those people that I always, when we were young and sitting on the circus, like, oh, who is that guy? Oh, I would like to meet him. Oh, I'd like to meet him. And we're talking to him on my interview show. And I kind of feel like such a fan and such a, like a kid.
I know what you're saying, man. I've just being in Tower, I've gotten to meet so many of my heroes.
Yeah.
And found that a couple of my heroes actually kind of like said some stuff about what I did with Tower that just kind of blew me away.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've just, the guy I'm thinking right now is Bob Mincer. I mean, I've become really good friends with Bob Mincer. And Bob Mincer is a fucking salt of the earth, man. I love that guy. I love his playing. And we've become good friends. And I'm friends with one of the guys who's my heroes, David Sanborn too. I'm friends with David Sanborn. I mean, I could die now. Okay, those guys
Yeah.
those guys I know. And I talk to them. And I can sit there and have a real conversation like I'm talking to you guys. And it's just like, of course, like my mom always said, people are just people. They're all people. They're just people. People just want to be people and seen for who they are.
Well,
So my mom always said that.
here,
What about Walt Fowler? You should get Walt Fowler on.
Oh, good call.
yeah, Dennis told me that too. Yeah, Walt would be good.
He's a big influence on my playing. I'll tell you that.
He's a big influence on my personality.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, the other thing that is really cool about this circus is the fact that we've all been able to stay friends this long.
Yeah.
About being a musician. Once you get the gig, the cool thing about getting the gig is the hang with the guys.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's great.
The gig becomes after you get the gig, you earn your way into the gig. You practice. You earn your way into the gig, and you get the gig. Then it stops being about the gig. It becomes the hang with the guys.
And still the music too, but it's the dynamic changes. The dynamic changes.
It's still the music, but the friends, the friendships you make, and and like I've told you, Tom, that what I see, how you guys all are in Tower, and John talks about being in the San Jose collective, the jazz collective, how you guys get along. It becomes about the hang, and when you go to the gig,
it's a brotherhood.
Yeah.
And if there's a girl in the band, it's a family brother sisterhood.
Yeah, that's true.
And so that time we had on the circus. Oh, Mackenzie's asking me a question. I don't know. Okay, you'll have to look. I'll be out there in a minute. Okay, we're about ready to wrap it up, Mackenzie.
Yeah, you need to get with your girl.
Yes, because teenagers have a way of making you learn something.
But let's take the show out with me and John playing.
Okay, that's a good idea.
I think we should take it out as we fade out. And
he just came in and smacked me. Hey, did anybody
hey, John, just give me a key, John.
Okay, the trumpet key, F, concert F.